Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another Sunday conversation. We are excited today. A number of reasons why we're excited today, but we're coming to the end of the month of June. It's been men's mental health all month. We've been focusing and highlighting on men's health and mental health and all of that. It's been a great week. Yesterday we had a phenomenal day out in community with community folks. So we are excited for all of you just tuning on. Please check out us on our YouTube, our social media handles. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important conversation, talking about how do we keep our youth secured and safe and active this summer as we hit these summer months. We know there's a lot going on, but over the past couple of weeks, just excited to see all the stuff that's going on with the HBCU students. They just completed their first week of their cohort. There's been a number of graduation. Folks are still out there graduating all the way up to now. It's kind of amazing. It's the end of June. Usually it's the early part of the month, but there are still some colleges and folks that are still out there graduating. Yesterday, we had a phenomenal day at the races at the Sonoma Raceway. Oh, it was a phenomenal event. I believe it was like 28,000 people out there. We had drifting, drag racing. They had all kind of shows and artists performing. It was a nice day. It was warm. It was a great time out and just great to see the families, the children out there, and just to see all of the amazing cars, just to see all the different cultures and folks coming together. Very a nice scenery. So I was happy to be out there. My niece didn't do as well as she wanted to in the race, but she showed out, and just was happy to see everybody out at the event. Also, there's a lot of things happening in the news that we definitely want to talk about today when we talk about keeping our community safe. There's been an increase of gun violence and shootings around the community, not only here in the Bay Area, but across the country, as this gun violence is just continuing to erupt and cause havoc in our communities. So many things going on, so much loss, so many folks are dealing with grief and loss of loved ones at this time of the year. So very trying times as the economic crisis is happening. We know the end of the month is coming. A lot of physical and economical impact that is happening in our community with job loss. Folks trying to be able to maintain and get through this is going to be a challenge as more and more cuts are coming down and more organizations and corporations being impacted by the recent cuts and what's taking place not only here in California but across the country. So again, trying times as we head into an election year with so many uncertainties and so many things happening. Now is the time to have the true conversations about what can we do and how do we impact community. There's a number of programming changes that we're going to be announcing to the community over the next couple of weeks, as we're going to be changing up the platform a little bit, how we doing our podcasts and how many times a week we're doing them. So pay attention, community, as we'll be making some shifts and changes that we try to continue to do our part to impact community and keep things happening in the community. With that being said, Brother Mark is here. The voice is here. How you doing, brother? It's been hot all across the country. I know in the H it's cooking down there, brother.
Man, I was talking to some friends yesterday, and again, I being born and raised here, I'm used to it. But it is hot. You just learn how to manage it yourself. But it ain't the only place that there's been heat waves all over the country. I know y'all got a whole lot of stuff going on out there, weather related as well, man. But as always, man, I love the community, love the people, love what both sides of the conversation is doing. Glad to be here for another Sunday conversation, because we're actually going to talk about something to me personally I think should be near and dear to everybody's heart, because we're talking about the kids and how we can continue to give them great opportunities for exposure. So glad to be here, Bishop.
Man, I'm just happy to be here. Yes, these temperatures. I mean, we got triple digit temperatures right now in the East Bay, the North Bay, the South Bay. Folks are seeing anywhere from 103 to 105 degrees. We have fires. We have the California wildfires happening again. The state is on fire. Stuff happening. But yeah, we are here for folks. Continue to stay hydrated. Make sure your pets are inside. Turn those AC units on and try to just enjoy it as much as possible. I know here in the Bay Area and the inland, closer to the water, it's a little cool in the city here, cool in Oakland. But once you get outside into those inland areas, it's cooking out there. Folks are having a great time enjoying and a great time for great water fights and water slides, and folks are out having a good time in the water, and that's always good on this Sunday. So with that being said, Brother Mark, we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the quick news. We just talked about it. The Bay Area heat wave is here. Temperatures are reaching over 105 in most East Bay inland areas. So again, be careful. This intense heat is going to be around for the next couple of days. And then we're hoping to see a major cooling cycle for a couple of weeks. And then right around July 4th, it's going to be happening again. We're supposed to be heating up and be triple digits around the Bay. Also, there was one person killed in a shooting near San Francisco Civic Center. There was a shooting near Civic Center that resulted in someone passing away. They're still looking for people that have information, but the victim was pronounced dead. Again, this gun violence in our community is impacting us. There's still work that we need to do to help change what's going on in our community when it comes to gun violence. Also, a Boulder Creek man was rescued from a remote canyon after missing for 9 days. Again, we know folks are out there. The weather is nice, hiking around the different mountaintops. Be careful out there. Make sure you leave some markers so you know how to get back, or make sure you got something. But the brother is okay. He was found. Again, when you get out in the wilderness, make sure you do some landmarking or something out there, because you can get turned around real fast. I remember one time I was going on a hike and I was like, I got spent around. I'm like, where am I at? But I knew, listen to where to go west towards the water, and I get out of there. And that's what I did. Also, California, there's been an increase of COVID cases around the Bay Area, and it's throughout the whole state. I know folks have been talking about this. This COVID is like flu. It's going to be all year. But again, there are more and more cases. So again, I don't think we're fully out of the woodwork when it comes to how we deal with COVID and what COVID is doing to our communities. Continue to be safe out there, community. Continue to wash your hands, safe distance, and just remember that COVID is still spreading around our communities and is still present in our communities. So again, be safe out there and make sure you're doing your part to make sure you're not spreading the disease. And again, Mark, it is a beautiful, beautiful day. There's concerts going on, a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk about this stuff that took place for Juneteenth, these shootings and different things that's taking place. But with that being said, brother, I'm going to turn over to you to get into our events.
Absolutely, Bishop. Let's go ahead and get to the community events. We've got a lot going on in the area. Experience Frisco Friday, Juneteenth celebration, June 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. at PG&E's Hunters Point site, 155 Jennings Street. Don't miss it. And join us for Sunday Streets Excelsior Cyclovia on July 21st, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Mission Street at Teresa and Avalon to Geneva Avenue. Enjoy free recreation, health resources, music, dance, and more. And save the date for Sunnydale's annual community health fair on July 27th from 12 to 4 p.m. at Hers Park, located at 1701 Visitation Avenue in San Francisco. Enjoy free health screenings and have an opportunity to win gift cards. And join B Magic's Back to School celebration and backpack giveaway on August 3rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1050 McAllister Street. For more details, see the link below. Also, explore the Bayview Community Block Party with Sunday Streets in San Francisco on August 4th from 12 to 5 p.m. Enjoy 2 blocks of car-free fun on Galvez Avenue with activities for the whole family. And join Mo Magic's second backpack and school celebration and backpack giveaway on August 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 155 Jennings Street. For more details, see the link below. Also join Sunday Street San Francisco in the Mission for a car-free day of fun on August 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Valencia Street from Du Bois to 26th, where you can enjoy music, dance, health resources, and more. Also explore car-free fun at the Western Addition Community Block Party. Join us on Golden Gate Avenue and Buchanan Street Mall Park, September 22nd from 12 to 5 p.m. There will be activities for the whole family. And the Brown Bombers' 25th year. Register for youth football and cheerleading. There is a $150 fee that includes gear. To get more details, see the link below. And visit the Southeast Community Center Farmers Market on Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. now through October 31st for fresh produce, baked goods, and community activities. Will be located at 1550 Evans Avenue. And Kids in the City presents Hair One-on-One Workshop Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Chase Center. Youth ages 7 to 17 can learn about unique hair. The supplies will be provided for registration. See the link below. And join the SECC at Hungry Cafe from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for co-working eatery and social space at the Southeast Community Center. And the University of San Francisco's Community Counseling and Wellness Center gives 12 weeks of free therapy for San Francisco residents over 18 that are facing barriers to care. For more information, email the link below. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative Senior Home Repair Program offers up to $50,000 in a forgivable loan to low to moderate income seniors and or disabled homeowners that are in distressed San Francisco neighborhoods. To get more information, see the link below. And the San Francisco Human Rights Commission holds regular bi-monthly meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. in San Francisco City Hall, room 416. You can attend in person or via Zoom. And Fathers to Founders child support clinics are every Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 232 6th Street in San Francisco, where you can get guidance on child support debt, license holds, custody, and visitation rights. To get more information or an appointment, call the phone number below on your screen. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Down Payment Assistance Loan Program offers up to a $500,000 loan for down payment assistance and up to $30,000 for closing costs. Get connected with housing counselors, lenders, and realtors. For more details, see the link below. And Walters Wellness Group hosts the Sip Paint and Center every first, third, and fifth Friday, where you can unwind and set the tone for your weekend, fueled by tea, creativity, and grounding, and it is hosted by Dr. Kathia Walters and the team. For more info, see the link below. And join Fathers to Founders for Fatherhood Reimagined therapy group sessions every Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Food is provided. To RSVP or get more information, see the number below on your screen. And APRI hosts youth workshops where there are job referrals, resume and skill building, internships, networking, and community service hours opportunities as well. To get more details, see the number below on your screen. And Fillmore's Friday Night Market every Friday from 4 to 9 p.m. on O'Farrell Street between Fillmore and Steiner. There's live music, food, vendors, dominoes, prizes, and fun. There are vendor booths still available. To get more information, see the link below. And the vaccination site for the COVID-19 booster and monkeypox antiviral pill treatments are still available. See times and locations below. And visit the community living room for free breakfast and grab-and-go lunch every Monday through Friday at the City of Hope Cafe. To get more details, see the information below. And visit the San Francisco Office of Financial Empowerment for free, confidential, one-on-one smart money coaching. where you can get financial guidance in English or in Spanish. It's available to anyone that is living or working in San Francisco. For more details, see the link and phone number below. And be a mentor in SFUSD's Mentoring for Success. You can sign up to volunteer as an individual or group mentor district-wide. Make an impact. Sign up at the link below. And join our show to promote your business, nonprofit, or community impact on Hidden Gems, where you can share your expertise on an educational Thursday or be a panelist on one of our Sunday conversations. Also, you can keep up with both sides of the conversation's latest shows and community outreach events. And you can follow us on all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at bsotc.org. And both sides of the conversation welcomes volunteers to join our mission to uplift and support the community. Make a positive impact. Become a volunteer today. Email us at hr@bsotc.org. And also, both sides of the conversation invites your support for our podcast and community engagement. Your generous contributions will greatly aid us in enhancing our programming. And we would like to make sure we acknowledge the Dreamkeeper Initiative and all of its support of both sides of the conversation's programming and San Francisco's diverse Black communities. To learn more, see the link below. And also, we are still looking for panelists for our Hidden Gems upcoming June 25th episode. And on Thursday, the 27th, we will have Mr. Saladin Akbar teaching on the hidden value of life insurance. With that,
I had to get you earlier, Mark. That was a lot.
Right.
There's always a lot to get through that. A lot of news and announcement stuff still going on. I know we ending the end of the month, but yeah, a lot going on. We got to continue to stay focused as a community collective. And today I'm hoping that we come up with some ideas and hear some of the programs and some of the things that might be going on to help impact our youth. Very, very important stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start bringing up some of our guests, and then we could go ahead and jump into our news and announcements today, because I think it's very important that we frame today's conversation. I know we got some other folks that's going to be jumping on, and I know it's hot. The internet's having problems. Everybody's maxed out. But let's go ahead and introduce our first couple of guests. I know we have some other folks that's going to be joining us shortly. All right. With that being said, today we have the Rafiki Coalition here. They are here to support some of the programming that they have going on, and to talk about some of the things that we're going to be talking about with youth. So with that being said, I want to bring up Ms. Tajay Brown. Hello, Ms. Tajay. Welcome to both sides of the conversation. How you doing today, young lady?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for today. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Well, tell the community a little bit who you are, what you're doing at Rafiki, and we'll talk about what we're talking about today's conversation.
Sure. I'm Tajay Brown. I'm the Communications and Development Associate at Rafiki Coalition. I've been here about 2 years. And prior to that, I was doing our pop-up and wellness programming. So I'm excited to continue the work and spread the word that we do at Rafiki Coalition. If y'all don't know, it's a health and wellness organization that provides absolutely free services to the Black community in a culturally affirming environment. So we have mental health services, group and individual family therapy, massage, acupuncture, chiropractor services, youth programs, which we'll talk about today, and other ongoing wellness events to get people to know about what we're doing and get involved in the community, as well as a health clinic that we're opening up soon in July. So,
wow, great stuff. Excited to hear about it. Can't wait to hear more as we get through the conversation. With that being said, I see Dr. Terrell Irvin on here, the good brother, always showing up for the people. Brother Dr. Irvin, what's going on, King? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, John Henry? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Talk to the people, man. Tell them who you are. I know you do a lot, so talk to the people. and tell them what you're doing, what you're working on, brother.
Well, I'm Dr. Terrell Irving, out of Baby Hunters Point, San Francisco. Um, I'm representing for what I'm doing now, right now, is Life Skills Organization in the baby community. What we're doing is we have a mental health program for the arts. We do a First Tuesday spoken word on 3rd in Oakdale at Radio Africa every single first Tuesday of the month, which is under our Mindful Expressions. So our program with the arts is mental health wellness through art. We presented that through our program. Also, we have the life skills program where we are introducing individuals to real life skills that will either take them to the next level of entrepreneurship or workflow. I'm also connected with Robert Ortega, which is Lil Rob from West Point, and we have OSHA 10 through with YCD, the OSHA 10 training through Lift the Nation and the West Point area. So those are just a few babies that I'm actually working on right now, amongst a couple of other things that I'm kind of on the back burner with. But me and my wife just actually launched the university, Dream Achievers University, over during Black History Month, and that's a big segment of us because the fact that we're trying to bring the narrative of education back to our individuals, because it seems like it's not important to individuals because the fact that the way they've been taught and the way that we're being taught in these everyday colleges. So basically we have our university, which has unorthodox teachings and things of that nature, are getting people more interested in learning again.
Man, phenomenal. And I know I missed the kickoff, brother. I got to get out there
Yeah,
every
good,
Tuesday.
good.
Y'all hosting. That's my hidden gym show, my most important show of the week. But I got to schedule something to get out there because I've heard some of the phenomenal work that you all have been doing and supporting the community. And yes, we got to talk about education because we have to find a way to connect our young people and find a way to get everybody energized to get back on focus on education. So I'm happy to keep this collaboration talk going.
Definitely.
It's important. And I just see one of our other good brothers. I see Raymond's having some connectivity issues, but I'm gonna bring up my brother LA. I see my brother LA in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's up with you? How you doing?
Man, I'm glad you
Everybody
popped up.
doing?
You know, I reached out to the brothers last minute because we got to talk about this. How do we keep our youth going? And I said, I got to call my brother LA because he always focuses on uplifting the youth and about this movement. I think it's going to be great dialogue. But tell people a little bit about you, LA, who you are, and some of the things you got going on.
My name's Anthony Evans. I come from Sunnydale Projects. I got relationships with a little bit of everybody from everywhere. I'm older. I go up to Juvenile with John Henry, talk to the kids. I just got me a new job, so I got a new kid on the way. I'm finna be a grandfather. Just a little bit of, of what I got going on. But as far as like with the kids, I feel like we just got to have more stuff for them to do. Like, and we got to have more men that's got say so, and that's leaders that can give them what they need. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're going to follow our lead if they listen to you. If they don't listen to you, they're not going to follow your lead. You feel me? But you just got to have something for them to do when you do talk to them.
Man, for
probably right there on the spot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for
you can't
sure.
Just say, I want you to do this. I want you to do this, but you can't show and tell. You gotta be able to present it to him right there on the spot. If you saying you want him to do something right, you gotta be able to present the job, present the fun stuff. You gotta be able to do it right there on the spot. You just can't talk about it. Because that's what a lot of us. Say it again.
No, I'm saying that's definitely true. I mean, that's definitely something we got to jump in and talk about that as well. The access to service is so important. But hold on one quick. Let me get Raymond up here, then we'll get the conversation going. But I want to go back to what you was talking about. But I definitely want to get Raymond. I know we got some other brothers coming in. Hold on 1 second there, brother. All right. The next king. This brother always with the kids, doing stuff, trying to make our young people active. I know he's always moving around. I know he in his car moving around, but he showed up for me as always. Brother Raymond, what's going on, King?
Hey, look, I'm at Costco grabbing 20 pieces right now for some youngins, bud.
I already know you always doing something for the kids, man.
Yeah, I'm over
You
here
want to
waiting
tell the
right now.
people a little bit about you and about what you're doing. I know you got a number of businesses going
Yeah,
on. You do a
yeah.
lot with the kids.
Nah, like I came to a conclusion for for me, I just show up. I don't really give myself no title. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I could, be there for one of our young folks, family. I'm just gonna show up. I've been doing the work for a couple of years. Kind of started off doing my own organization. And for me, like I said, any way any capacity I can show up for community, I done did, just any way I can, man. It's a lot that's going on with our young folks. I just lost, one of my students 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's weighing heavy on a lot of my other youngins. You know what I'm saying? So just being around them every day, I'm about to go drop these pieces off, go to OC, go tap in, go chill, and just go see what everybody on. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, just the work. I've been doing the work for a couple of years now. Worked with a lot of great folks. Mentor, John. You're one of my mentors. And then I want to definitely shout out. He ain't on this call, but definitely want to shout out Dame. He did the Who for Peace. It turned out well. They broadcasted on the news, which we need a lot of more positive stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? For folks to see. So I just wanted to just get that quick introduction for myself.
Now, definitely shout out to us for putting that together. I seen some of the highlights. I wasn't able to make it because we had an event yesterday, but it was definitely great. And I'll try to reach out to him while we're in the middle of the show, see if I can give him to jump on, because that is something that we got to highlight. But now that we got everybody, I know Rico and a couple other people will be jumping on here shortly. Mark, let's go ahead and give everybody an introduction and the statistics about youth, and then we'll open up the conversation and get back to our dialogue.
Absolutely, Bishop. Well, as summer rolls in, keeping our youth active and secure becomes a primary concern for parents, educators, and community leaders. Today, we discuss various challenges and opportunities that summer presents for our young people. We'll explore effective strategies to engage youth in both physical and mental activities that not only keep them entertained, but also promote their overall well-being and safety. From organized sports and educational programs to community service projects and safety tips for parents, ensuring that our youth stay active, engaged, and secure. And just for a couple of stats here that we've got, over 8,000 young people participate annually in programs offered by the Community Youth Center in San Francisco, which focuses on leadership development and active community involvement. And another statistic, it says the San Francisco Department of Children, Youth, and their families has engaged over 5,000 youth aged 14 to 24 in skills development and community activities. Also, in early 2024, San Francisco experienced a 32% decrease in property crime and a 14% reduction in violent crime, reflecting improvements in community safety, including areas frequently accessed by the youth. Also, Enterprise for Youth facilitated 541 internships during the summer of 2023, providing direct work experience in various settings and distributing wages to participants. And our final statistic, the Opportunity for All initiative had over 3,000 youth between the ages of 13 and 24 apply for placements, providing a wide range of career exploration and workforce development opportunities through paid internships and mentorship programs. So that kind of sets the tone and some stats for the conversation, Bishop.
Man, definitely very important stuff. Since we only have one young lady here, Tajay, we're going to start off with you to just open it up, not only talk about your program, but some of the stats and statistics you heard. You see what's going on in the news with our young people, how it's important to get them connected. We know in San Francisco there's been major cuts when it comes to DCYF, a lot of the child programming features, and just want to open it up to you and let you get started. I see my guy Nate coming in, but go ahead and open it up and give us some feedback of what you're thinking.
Here we go. I think it's very important for us to have more safe spaces for the youth to participate in. Like one of the brothers spoke to, having places where education is seen as a fun thing, where it's encouraged. where they can learn life skills and really apply them to the day-to-day. I think a lot of youth are seeing adults live their life and they think that they can just skip the youth step and jump right to it. And my mom always said, stay in a kid's place because you don't want to be an adult. You don't want to rush into that soon. And I think that's kind of what's happening. So having more spaces like this and encourage them to take that time to be themselves, learn life skills is super important. And that is something that Rafiki is doing. We've been expanding our youth program. So we just wrapped up a cycle of teaching our Black Bike Coalition. So we taught kids ages 5 to 15 really how to build their own bikes, how to ride a bike. A lot of kids didn't even know how to do that. And then we took them on tours around the city. And now we're actually starting our youth enrichment program for kids to learn life skills, everything from communication to ethics to education to having healthy relationships with each other and their partners as they get older, and how to manage their finances at an age appropriate level and as they progress. So that's a program that's starting now, and it's going to be every Friday until the end of August, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's absolutely free. So like all of our programs are, but it's just a space for kids age 8 to 18 to come in during the week and meet with mentors, do community engagement, community service, and just to learn more about themselves and how they can incorporate wellness into their lives. And I think that's important. I think the message has been that kids kind of can do their own thing, and we need to wrap our arms around them and let them know that we see them and we want to make that space for them.
Wow, I think that's so important. And just happy that you all are offering the programming for the young people. I know Drake talked to us a little bit about that earlier this year about what you guys are doing with the bike program, and those kids was able to keep those bikes. I think that's so important and so enriching to the young people. Also, our brother is here. Big Nate is here. I know he's doing a lot for young people with basketball and some of the other things that he's doing with case management. And I know Nate always have a phenomenal perspective when it comes to like, what can we do for our young people? We know that there's a lot of cuts, Nate, a lot of stuff going on. How do we keep these young kids engaged? You see what's going on in the news with sideshows, these cases of young folks, teenage folks walking in the malls, snatching clothes, doing a lot of different things. Like, what can we do as community, as thinkers, as we continue to try to reach our elected officials, community leaders, to make sure that we put the programming in place? Nate, I know, man, you got a lot going on. What you think about all of this stuff, Nate?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, John. When you call me to jump on, I stop what I'm doing to jump on for you. So I think, I've been dealing, I love all the programs that's going on. I think, the job thing is one, we got to get more consistent jobs for our youth. We have OFA, which is probably the easiest avenue of getting kids employment, and that's ran by the Human Rights Commission. That's one of the easiest ways to get in. They need more job opportunities. I think summertime is a time for learning, but it's also time for fun as well. And we got to find some ways that people will fund activities. You know what I'm saying? It's not sexy to fund a football tournament or a basketball tournament or things like that. It's not, people look at it, well, what that's going to do, but that gives some of our hard to reach youth something to do. It's not easy to fund, like getting Rain to bring out his jumpers. Rain would do it for free, but Rain got a business to run. So Raymond got to get funded. I mean, he got to get some type of money. He can't just be pulling out his stuff every week for someone. So, but that stuff is not sexy to the fund. And Raymond would go probably each week if he had the funding to somewhere to make a consistent program. But that funding is not there. Only thing we can do now is start just advocating and keep advocating And John, you've been a champion of advocacy for the youth for since I've known you. But my main thing would say just have some fun activities that are fun and interesting and exciting to the kids. With those activities, and then you couple it in with the learning and enrichment stuff that can probably get those kids, reeled in. But you got to have that carrot out there first, and got to dangle that carrot to get some of those other activities in. I love when you used to take the kids fishing and stuff like that, but who's going to fund that every week? Who's going to fund a consistent fishing program? You know what I'm saying? So we got to preach that type of stuff, that stuff is needed. You had a thing where you had show kids how to fix a tire and things like, to change a tire and things like that. But who's going to fund that consistently? That's not the sexy person. We don't have the fancy grant writers to write those type of things up and make it look fancy. All we do is know how to go get the kids and go have fun. But that's, on paper, that don't look good for funders. So it's all about kind of, getting the funders to kind of, understand the needs and the wants in the community. The summer, again, is about having fun. Also, not losing sight of the enrichment part as well. But we got to make sure that we're funding the fun activities.
Yeah, I mean, and Nate, I'm big on this, and I think not just here from San Francisco, because I know people all across the Bay Area watch and beyond. I still believe we as community leaders, community organization, we have to do a better job of organizing and also making these philanthropists, making these foundations, and having these city departments understand that importance, right? Because it is an investment. It's just like yesterday, all those kids out at the racetrack. That was a new experience for a lot of those kids to see the different type of hot rods. Those opportunities that they don't normally get in the community gives them another way of thinking of like an opportunity, right? Now they in the cars. Oh, I like this. Oh, I want to be a car painter. I want to be an auto mechanic, right? It actually opens up the minds of our youth with opportunity that sometimes they normally don't get, right? But again, when we look at it from a city perspective, like you said, they don't think it's the sexy thing. Why are we investing this money, right? But then the flip side of it, they look around and they see the crime. They see the car break-ins. They see the kids not going to school. And it's like our kids are not engaged. I'm so in favor of incentive-based. I just believe that we're going to have this country, not just here in San Francisco, this country is going to have to make a major investment in incentivizing education, arts and crafts. They're going to have to do it if they want to see change, because the cost of living, one, is too much. You look at the interest rate, you look at the gas, you look at what it costs now just to go to the movies. It's too much. So how do we make the investment on the back end to work with these legislative folks, these elected officials, to really get them to understand the importance? Because I'm going to just tell you, looking at what's going on, all these cities and counties is too far behind, right? The legislative process is too behind for the current times. When you look at the cost that they're investing in per child, there's no way. I mean, some of these programs, they only want to give $10, $20 a kid, $50 a kid. You can't do it, right? To get mentors, and that's why I'm very happy that All You Brothers is here, because I want to talk about that too. When it comes to Black male mentors in this country, when they talk about Black men invested in our young people, when we talk about the amount of money that programming, these grants are allowing folks to come and do this work, is unbelievable. There's no way the most high-risk youth, the work that these brothers do, should be offered $25 an hour. I can't believe some of these places I go to, and they, all we can give is $25 to them. I said, $25? Like, this is crazy. But we have it backwards. And I know a lot of these elected officials, they get mad at me. We got it backwards because our city, and all across the country, we are willing to invest millions and millions of dollars in consultants to come in here and tell us how to do programming, tell us how to set it. I mean, the city don't have a problem. They'll cut a check quick to a consultant, $10 million. Hey, come teach us how to stop violence. And then when it comes to the people doing the work, we got nothing. They want us to work for free.
It's all about the relationships, John.
Yeah.
It's all about I was just telling you yesterday, at the hall, Unit 6, they got the second floor filled up now. They had the whole floor. Both floors are now filled in Unit 6. And they locking these kids up. And main thing they're talking about, why they doing things, they got to get some money or do this or that. And if we can fund something consistently and have those people that's on the ground, paying them a decent wage to help, steer their lives. $22, $25 don't go nowhere in the city. As far as cost of living, and let's all keep it real, But like you said, they'll give $10 million to somebody to come tell us how to do it, and we go in there every other Saturday and got to command the respect of all the kids in juvenile hall. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a tough situation.
It's definitely a model that we got to check. Brother Raven, I see you got your hand up. Go ahead, brother.
No, so I thank you too, Nate. I appreciate you. I think overall, I think the biggest thing as a community that we got to do is start building our own stuff, man. Like that's the key. Yeah, that's the key to everything right now. Building our own businesses, hiring our own young folks. I know Nate was talking about jobs. Perception is everything. I can't give my young folks no job to somebody that don't look like them because the perception is there. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, our young folks get turned away off these jobs just because of what they look like. You know what I'm saying? So I want to applaud like Nate for 20. I don't know how many years the Rebels been around, but to consistently have that type of stuff going on for folks that look like us. That's the reason why I even started the jumper business, because I'm like, well, if I know these other folks are going to deny my kids, I know I ain't going to deny my kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what the main thing is. We're like having our own stuff, hiring folks that look like us. Because if you look around, everybody else is doing it. Every other culture, every other program that's specifically dedicated to they people are hiring they people. And that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't like to ignore that. So that's why I even started this. I had even sat with APRI just to figure out how do I even create a training around teaching kids how to do these jumpers, how to unload, how to properly lift and everything. So that's been really, really, really important. That's been really, really important for me to just build a brand so I could have kids come work for me and show them what business look like. Go to all these Arab stores. These young kids is in there 8 years old, 9 years old, running a whole store by themselves. I'm seeing that all day in the Tenderloin, you know what I'm saying? But if we don't got the capacity to have our own, we can't put our own in position. And that's really what it is right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the investments that have to happen. I mean, but we do have to create that hub for the young people. And I know you say, Raven, we got to create our own. We do have to create our own. But we know the Black ecosystem when it comes to economics is impacted, right? So we still need city funding. We still need philanthropists. We still need foundations. But what we need them to do is open up those funnels of funding so that we can create and do the program. And the other problem that we have that's a pressing issue, why we have some of these roadblocks. We have to talk about the systemic racism when it comes to Black joy, Black opportunities. And it's real. Even in San Francisco, and folks don't want to talk about it. Anytime other nationalities see Black folks thriving, having a good time, or making some kind of progress, they're not happy about it. And we just got to be real about it. And we got to figure out how do we shift that narrative to make sure that they understand this and stay consistent as a community, because that fight is going to be an ongoing fight no matter what happens in this election coming up. Black folks is still going to have to find a way. We have to let these folks know the importance of it, right? And like Nate said, I remember months ago, 5 or 6 kids at juvenile. Now the numbers is increasing. It's the summertime. These young kids are taking more and more risk, and we have to find a way to get them in Rafiki Coalition, get them in the Rebels, get them in the Terrell program. Whatever we have to do, we have to find a way. And what I mean by incentivize it to you, as some listeners out there might think, why do I want to pay somebody to go fishing? Well, it's mental health. We know in the Black community, when we talk about PTSD, when we talk about the impact of trauma in our community, right? The access to get to do some of it, it's a cost to it, right? And one way we're going to have to invest, we have to incentivize these programs to give these kids those opportunities. I just believe it, even with Terrell, what you're doing with the art, the poetry, right? Sometimes getting that trauma out is a big part, right? But how do we make sure that these kids who pouring their internal pain out to the community, that they get compensated, right? Why can't we have fun and to support these kids? Hey, you come off on a Tuesday and do your poetry. We got a couple $100 for you, right? We got to have something in place that impacts these young people. I'm sorry, I keep telling these folks, I'm tired of this. You know, I look at what's going on. They complain to me, John Henry, you giving out $100 gift card. I said, what I'm gonna get? Why I'm gonna give my people a $25 gift card? There's nothing they can buy with $25 in San Francisco. We have to have a real conversation. I'm being serious because they keep kicking the can down the road. They keep playing these games. We have to change the way these RFPs look like. We have to change the way our elected officials look like, what it's like to do business in San Francisco. And it's not just from a nonprofit standpoint, it's from all businesses. We are too behind when it comes to where we at currently. There's no way we could fund the type of programming that we had. I think I looked up the other day. It was like this grant, and you could play, I think it was like $37 for case management. I'm like, who's going to do that? It's unreal. Excuse me, but we're gonna have to figure. We got to figure. I don't know what's going on. See, I'm talking too much. They put the X on me, but we got to do something about it because it's unreal, and it starts legislatively. And I know a lot of folks, when I talk about it, you know, they just want to complain at the department level, but I think it's policy driven. And if we're going to hold these elected officials accountable, we have to make sure that they are creating policy that is real, that is effective, and it is current, because we cannot keep playing these games of, oh, we're just going to get the grant to do the job. We have to be successful with it, and we have to make sure that it's sustainable for the community. All of this programming that's happening, that it don't stop. So just wanted to put that out there. Brother T, I know you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead and jump in there, and then we'll get it back to Tajay and Mark. We'll move around here.
It's good. It's good. What I wanted to do is I wanted to piggyback off of what you say about the youth. You know, I deal with the youth, you know, the older youth, and what they call the lost boys, you know, the lost ones, the ones that's with the, you know. So those are the guys that I've been tapping into, and it's funny that we're on this call and you tapped into me, John, because me and my wife was just talking about this morning, and we're speaking on Worthy. And how Worthy had the programs, and how we used to go on the fishing trips, and the trips to Great American, the Raging Waters, and the Lake Comanche. I mean, up to well, man, what's the summer camp we used to go to? Not Lake Comanche.
Lake, you talking about Lake Berryessa?
Nah, man. When we was little,
Mather, Yosemite.
No, man, when we was little, man, the camp we used to go to when we was little, man.
It was a lot of them. Camp Mathers.
Nah.
Camp Mendocino.
Camp Mendocino. Okay. So we used to have the camping trips and things of that nature. So what it is that the narrative has changed. You know, the things that kids do have changed. Have we asked the youth what they want? You know, so our thing right now is, I think that it's time for us to, instead of having programs that's like, hey, I'm offering this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. Hey, come do this. Why not find out what they like? You know, some of the things that they're interested in, you know, bring the youth in conversations and surveys and things of that nature, and find out what they're interested in, the things that they would like to do. I know some of them don't know, you know, but that's the carrot. The carrot is, hey, we having some fun events. What you guys like to do for fun, you know, and try to figure out what the best things are for these guys to have fun, you know, and also be able to make some money with it, you know, or have some activities there that they can win some prizes and do this and do that. Once you have the carrot out there, then you start. See, right now we're just shoving programs down their throat instead of just bringing them in and gradually grabbing them. You know, like you said, you have to throw the carrot out there. Once you throw the carrot out there, and then you got the rabbit, now you can stroke it. You know, now you can stroke the rabbit and tell them, hey, this is what we doing, and this is what's going on, you know, things of that nature. You know, but right now it's just that they've pitched us all against each other so much with this little bit of money. So I don't get funding. Everything that I do is out of my pocket. You know, my wife is looking at me crazy because right now she's looking at our books, and our books is like $110,000 into the community. You know, I've been a couple of thousand funded for a show here and there, but I've never been funded for any type of things that I do because I love doing the work. I've been doing this since I was in the game. I used to pick dudes up off the street and take them, drop them off at schools, get them off the block and be like, you can't be out here. You know, have after school programs when I did the music to where guys would come in, do their homework and have access to the studio and things of that nature. You know, so I've been doing this by myself because I don't like to be held back from the things I like to do. But what we're making mistakes is we're having things and not wondering what they like to do. I know they like to do music. Have a studio program, you know, have some type of arts program that deals with music, you know, have a production program. You know, there's a lot of things that these guys are interested in, but you have to throw out there and get some information from them. That's what I feel, is that we have to start getting information from them because times have changed. We old now. So the things that we necessarily may want them to be interested in may not be what they're interested in anymore.
But Terrell, I gotta say this. I hear you, and I agree. We gotta listen to the young people, but I think the investment also has to be giving them an opportunity to figure out, because a lot of times we get the young people in the space and they don't know what to say, right? I don't know. Yes. So
true,
I think
true,
that's just being real, because I'm gonna be real.
True.
But I think also we got two things that we're impacted by, right? We talk about safety. Mm-hmm. Right, a lot of these kids, because where they strategically placed throughout the city, sometimes with the gang stuff, you know, what part of the city folks is from, that impacts the way youth want to move, right? So it's really about how do we create a safe space, one, for them to be there, safe transportation to get them there, and then how do we give them access to the things that they could be, right? We know there's music, right? But we have to figure out, what does that look like in each community?
Does that exactly
right? So we could put up an event for the youth and say, hey, we got a music studio. See how many people is into that, right?
No, it doesn't have to be
people
just
that's
music
into social media.
Yeah. It
social media and marketing.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand.
You know, because the thing, a lot of it is exposure. A lot of times these kids have multiple things they're good at, right? And to really tap into what they really need is they have to have exposure to get to the what it is that they like, right? I think that's why sometimes the STEM programs are so great, because they get different perspective on science and math. And then it's like you find the kids who gravitate to it. It's easy. But then what does that number look like? Right. And then I think we're talking about two sets of youth, especially here in San Francisco, that we're dealing with. Right. We have kids who have the family structure and support, who has the wherewithal when it comes to education. They move in a certain kind of way. Right now, we got the HBCU graduates here. We got high school kids who are going to HBCUs. Right. So they're career driven. Right. So they're getting opportunities to go to the DA's office, to work for the city attorney, to work for some of the department heads. So you got a little bit of that for those kids. Now we got to talk about these kids who on the fence. Right, exactly. They barely making it. Ray and Pookie, like, hey man, you know what I mean? I can't go down there. Somebody gonna shoot me. I can't go off this block because they looking at me funny. Like, how do we fix programming them? And then one, meeting these kids where they at is how do we bring it to them? Because the biggest problem when I talk to kids is all of these great programs I would like to do, but I gotta go way across town.
You bring it to the block. You bring it to the block, like when I'm working on with the life skills through the Lift the Nation program. Like the life skills is a life skills program. It just sparks an interest for different type. We have automotive training, which includes EV training. We have the aerodynamics training. We have the basic financial literacy, video production, just basic automotive, like he says, teaching kids how to change their tires and just those basic life skills. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's still a program that we're actually just putting out there to them to spark their interest. You know what I'm saying? The program in West Point is actually in West Point. We actually go in West Point, be on the block with these guys, you know what I'm saying? Understanding what's going on with them, asking them, hey, look, man, what's going on? What are y'all missing? You know what I'm saying? Why are you spending so much time out here and what's going on? So that's how we're able to get a lot of the information, by actually being in the midst with these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of the programs, a lot of the guys that I'm hearing on the streets are saying, hey, man, they got all this going on, but they don't come see us. Oh, man, I ain't seen such and such. Hey, they don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, y'all the only ones come out here like this because don't nobody be out here on the block like this. You know what I'm saying? So basically it's up to us to get out there with these guys and deal with these family members that we have, like I say, from 13 to 25 years old. Deal with the parents and deal with the kids in the community, be there with them, to be able to spark that interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I know they gonna hate me for that. I told them they need to bring back firearm training for all these young brothers in the community. They want to shoot guns. I know
They
that's
want to
what they
shoot
need.
guns.
We need to take them somewhere in the mountains, put them in a car,
You
and go
know.
teach them how to responsibly use a
Yeah,
firearm.
I got 10 acres set aside for us to go, man. Let's
Right.
find out.
You know, I mean, go ahead, brother Raymond. I see your hand up.
Hey, definitely wanted to tap in. I think when you say who was it, doctor, about bringing them in, I think like camping, like we don't get kids out the way, man. It's time to like grab, like, you know, if you even drive around the city, you gonna see a bunch of kids really just roaming out here. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that's my biggest thing right now for them. Like, I grab them and I'm taking them or I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the music is cool, but the music is what's getting a lot of the shit started with a lot of our young folks too. You feel what I'm saying? So I try to, honestly, I love that the young cats do want to do music, but most of the music is what getting all this shit sparked up with this, you know, with these folks from this set, and who you with and who you associated with. It's a lot of beef music, and it's a lot of people that tune into it. So
Right, right. I think you guys misinterpreted what I was saying. I was just saying that per se, as far as the things that they were interested in, we just need to find out collectively. It doesn't necessarily have to just be music. It can be like you said, it's car painting, in the cars, business, things of that nature. But that was just a per se thing. We need to just find out what these kids are interested in. You know what I'm saying?
But I think you got to create that space for them. Like that's what I'm like how you just brought up like camping. Like you gotta, like, what kid is not interested in that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we all got, you know, we didn't, like, I didn't grow up going on a camping trip every day with my family. Like we had homies from the block, like, man, we taking all y'all camping, we up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we ended up liking that. Then when you get out there, you know, you bring in your jet skis, you bring in your dirt bikes, you bring in this, you bring in that, and then you just create that fun out the way where, and then, you know, it don't matter what set you bring. It was like that for us. Like, you gonna bring some cats out there out the way. We not politicking. We don't got no pressures. You feel me? We out there. We can have fun. We really can enjoy ourselves. So I really think, even for my own self, like as an entrepreneur, I've been like lately, like really looking for that land space. Like I could create my own black campsite to a point where it's like, you know what, I got my own. Grab some jet skis. We out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because I just took some couple of little youngsters to Pismo. You know what I'm saying? And we have fun. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of they homies reached out to go. So I think really, man, just really, like, you know, get, and then talking to like cats. I don't know his name, John, but the man that's on here, the doctor that's on here, but really just putting it together, man. I think I'm ready to like put stuff together with folks that is doing that work. You know, I think, you know, like I said, we asking what the folks needed. We need to unify together to do that together. You know what I'm saying? One thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it on to somebody else. I like what it's a organization in Oakland they call Positive Pull Up. They just pull up to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we got to start doing. I know Nate was talking about, I got the jumpers, and I'm looking for, you know, I always look for opportunity because it is a business. But bro, I've always was when I figured out that I wanted to do this work, was like, even if I don't have $1 in my pocket, I'm always give back. You know what I'm saying? And when I bought these jumpers, that was my initial thing, like, to give back. So I like what they doing in the town. Like, they pulling up the block to block, pulling the jumpers out, grabbing some bikes, grabbing some raffles, and I don't know how they doing it, but you know, I'm ready for that. You know, I'm ready to just start pulling up to the neighborhoods, coming up with these events and just doing us. You know what I'm saying? And just being in these neighborhoods, period. You know what I'm saying? So
no, and I appreciate it. I think we all do our part of, like, you know, personally using our finances to help support it, but we got to get away that we fund it, man, because there's too many folks who are getting the funding and don't have any impact, right? And there's all these folks like Terrell, Raymond out there with the kids making impact, Nate, you know, Uncle Damien, you got all of us, we all trying to do it. We out there trying to do our part, right? We need that financial support because it takes it, right? But it's like we have to advocate to make sure that we get it, right? We got these larger organizations, they got to do a better job. We got too many gatekeepers in our community that's not relinquishing the funds to the community, and we got to change that. Everybody's holding on the money for the rainy day. I'm like, hey, the rainy day is here, even though it's 105 degrees outside. It's raining, okay? We need some support. But back to you, Ms. Brown, because I think you have a great model where you all are doing, and I hear Raymond, yeah, we could pull up, but you know, when we talk about consistency, Because after the kids go to Pismo Beach, after they go to Great America, after they go to the water slides, after they do these camping trips, we have to have consistency. Okay, we have to have something for them after they have fun. Okay, now the fun is over. We got to keep programming going so that they're impacted, so that they can, keep thriving. And I think that's the hardest thing. They have one day of fun, and it's this out of body experience of like, hey, we went out, I got exposed to some stuff, but now I'm coming back to the hood. I'm coming back to the community, and there's shooting going on. The cops are chasing somebody. There's domestic violence. I mean, there's all these things going on. How do we keep consistent programming?
I like to piggyback off that real quick, John. I know before when we was growing up, we always had a community facility. Whether it was a project unit or what have you, there was always that community center within our community. And they've taken that out of the communities. Now we like I said, my wife was just talking about today. You have different organizations that you have, but in the areas where there's, like you say, where these at-risk youth are, or not even just them, their little brothers and things of that nature, they're looking up to these guys. So even if they're not going the way of their brother, they're still sitting in the house and not having nowhere to go. We used to have the after-school program. You go to, man, you need help with your homework, go over to the rec center, go over to the center. So writing the projects. So basically, we don't have those opportunities to have those spaces right now, and that's one of the biggest downfalls that I've mentioned to some of the individuals that we're dealing with right now.
John, can I just jump in? I definitely agree.
Go ahead.
There's these. We used to have places open to 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, and things are not open. People close now at 5 and 6 o'clock. There's nothing available for kids after 5 or 6 o'clock because everyone's closed. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, Nate, you look at the statistics in San Francisco, teenage arrests. Most of these teenage crimes are happening Friday night from 8 p.m. to midnight, Saturday, 7 p.m. to midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, into the Sunday morning, right? So we got to figure out, that's part of violence prevention. But again, we deal with so much in our community, and this is why I say it's a collective effort. Because we got the young kids who sit in the house. They don't have clothes. They can't get their hair cut. Now they're embarrassed. We got a self-esteem issue to even get motivated to go join the programming, right? And this is why I'm saying it's so essential to open up the floodgates to impact the Black ecosystem when it comes to these Black entrepreneurs and business. We have to have a space where kids can go get their hair cut. Young ladies can get their hair done. We need mobile laundromats so these folks can have clean clothes, opportunities. Because if I'm a kid and I'm in a family situation that's bad and I don't have my hair cut, my shoes ain't clean, and I'm not right, I don't want to be a part of this. So everybody can laugh at me and joke at me. So we got to look at it from a broader view of how we impact youth this summer. And it's more than just saying, hey, I got some money for you to come to my program. What is the family dynamic like, right? How do we collectively impact this family in these youth? And I think that's the bigger picture, because I talk to some of these kids, they're like, man, my clothes is dirty. My mom don't have no money to go wash my clothes. We got these new renovated apartments in the city for low-income housing. They have no washers and dryers. Now we have an economic crisis. There's no access to this. Now, how do I go out there? My clothes is dirty. You know what I mean? So we got a lot. But Miss Brown, go ahead. I want to hear from you because you got consistent programming. I know Rafiki is reimagining, reorganizing how they do business. And I know there's a change to get the community back involved. But what are some of the things that you can say that you think when it comes to consistency and all of that?
I think consistency is very important across the board. I think having the times where we have fun is important, but also having a consistent message that we can continue to have fun and we can continue to develop ourselves. We can continue to pour back into our communities, and this is the space to do it. And I think something I heard is that having a space and having a center and having community, and I think it's important for us to work together more as far as the organizations that are helping out with the youth, partnering with organizations that have funding and have space and opportunity to hold youth, but we don't necessarily have the youth. So, please send them, our way to Rafiki, and that's something that we are looking to do, is to hold space for the youth to see what they want and to showcase their talents. and their abilities as well. I think also addressing the whole family unit is important because it's more than just the kids. We have youth enrichment programs, but we also have men's self-care programs, which focus on safeties, emotion, loss, grief, things like that. And then we also have maternal health workshops as well that focuses on the mother's experience with this as well. And they can even bring their babies. So I think really addressing the whole family unit individually and together is what's important because our people are going through a lot. Like you said, self-esteem is why people may not show up. Having basic access to transportation, having basic access to food. Like you have to decide what you're going to do today. And so being able to provide people with support to get to cross those barriers or to not have those barriers in place, I think is important. And collaborating with other people who are like-minded and on the same journey to do that. So I think that's the important part of it, and really listening, like you said, listening to what they want. And sometimes you have to present it first. Like you have to present, this is what we want you to do, or this is something that is a good avenue. It's a challenge to hear her. Oh, can y'all hear me okay on here?
It was a little bit low. We can hear you now.
Okay. I think, removing the barriers and then listening to the kids and what they want and letting them showcase who they are, showcase themselves, and then really tuning into if there is a problem in the home, if there's a problem, or just anything that they really need more support with, how can we as a community address that barrier? I think that,
I mean, yeah, it's very important. I'm gonna bring up this next brother here. He's a very important pillar of the community. He's doing so much. He put together a phenomenal basketball tournament that's going on, but he does so much to create safe spaces. I know Uncle Damien has a lot of solutions to how we can keep our young people safe. Uncle Damien, Us for Us is here. What's going on, good brother?
My people, my beautiful people. What's up? Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
For sure. What's up, man? Thanks for having me, man. The tournament is started. It's beautiful. Shout out to everybody that's on here, man. Shout out to both sides of the conversation. Continuing to, put forth a platform for, the people in general, man. They always want to talk about what we ain't doing. They talk about all the negative stuff, man. Let's talk about some of this good stuff that's going on in the media with both sides in the conversation, man. I appreciate you for so much, man.
Man, Uncle Dave, today we talking about how to keep our kids safe and secure in programming. I know you do a lot with your hub. You're doing a lot with the basketball. You're doing other stuff too. I mean, you got your hands in everything. Basically, a lot of it is violence prevention. When you talk about getting kids off the streets, and then it's community building because we're taking some of these kids from different communities and giving them an opportunity. What do you see this summer with all of the cuts that's going on? I know you hear. I know it don't matter to you, and me and Randy talk about it too. But these fundings is very essential to our community. What do you see? What's going on? How we could create better programming for young people and get them involved? And then how do we? I keep talking about it. There's still a legislative process that's got to happen when it comes to how we invest in the organizations and how we impact the youth in our community.
So at the end of the day, John Henry, we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it's always going to be that. Bless the hearts of those that are really, truly, genuinely, and sincerely trying to help the young people in our city. You know what I'm saying? I had to give that full sentence, man, because there's people that's around that look like they trying to do something, but they really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really like the trick of the devil, pretending like it doesn't exist. There's people who really don't want to see the young people thriving. They don't want to see us come together as a community. So, if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil and his works as well is going on. But on top of that, we have to go back to, like the Panthers, man. We have to do for self. We have to do what we can for each other, where we can, when we can. Shout out to the individuals that did get funding. If it's in your budget to help, you know what I mean, some individuals who don't have funding, then you should do that. But sometimes it don't work out like that. Everybody, unfortunately, this nonprofit world do be survival of the fittest. And me and you, John Henry, we kind of like, took our leap kind of like around the same time, because we've been doing this. If y'all don't know, John Henry been before both sides of the conversation, been up at juvenile hall, been helping kids behind the scenes in the community. You know what I'm saying? We just, officiated our stuff when the pandemic came with us for us and with both sides of the conversation. But we've been doing this. I'm 10 years at juvenile hall after coming home. You feel what I'm saying? Rain been doing the backpack give backs. You feel what I'm saying? Out his own pocket. You know what I mean? So, it can happen. And John, you are an entrepreneur just like me, and that's how I sustain and us sustains, you know what I mean? Because we don't get no consistent funding. I'm a hustler first, I was in the streets hustling. I'm gonna be a entrepreneur hustler. I'm gonna be a community hustler. You feel what I'm saying? It could be small, it could be big, as long as we're doing something. You feel what I'm saying? That's my key. Do something. You feel what I'm saying? If you got leftover food from dinner, make some trays, give it out to the homeless. 2 or 3 of them, whatever it takes. But if we all do something, you feel what I'm saying, collectively, you feel what I'm saying, we can make a difference. And for those individuals who have more capacity and can do more, do more. Don't fake it, do more. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's there. The need is there. You feel what I'm saying? The want is there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like crazy because, we did have, the Hoop for Peace event yesterday, and it went nice. I'm gonna keep it 100, man. You know what I mean? It could have went better. We had a few teams, sign up, but that just shows you the sign of the times. I'm giving away $5,000 for playing basketball, and it was cool, but everybody wasn't there that should have been there. First of all, you feel what I'm saying? Because we talking about peace. We got, we see what just happened in Oakland. We even in this past 2 months, we got about 67 youngsters drops. You know what I'm saying? May God rest their soul. Raymond been running around crazy trying to help these families, and we losing these young people. Same thing with you, John Henry. You feel what I'm saying? So if I'm hooping for peace, not to be grandiose, not just for me. If I'm hooping for peace, or if Raymond's doing an event, if Rafiki's doing an event, because Rafiki did an event the same time we did ours, and I shared there and I support it. I'm not tripping. Come to the Hoop for Peace event. Go to the Rafiki event. Go to the back to both sides of the conversation event. I don't care where you go, but go somewhere and stay out of trouble. Stay off the streets. Let's support this love. You feel what I'm saying? It's too much going on for people to not be involved. Because as soon as something bad happens, we already know, John, what they doing. They crying. They complaining. They doing this. Don't wait till after. You feel what I'm saying? Don't wait till after it happened. You feel what I'm saying? That's what Jack always be saying. Don't wait till after the fact. Now your brother dead. Now you want to act right. You know what I'm saying? Now your son locked up. Now you want to. Don't wait. We have to be preventive. You know what I'm saying? We have to do prevention. You know what I'm saying? And I've been learning that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what we do. You feel what I'm saying? To the best of our ability. You know what I'm saying? So that's my solution. I could talk forever. My solution is do what you can where you can. And if you can't, you feel like you ain't got to get with some people who can. There's plenty of John Henrys and Raymonds and Uncle Damien's. You feel what I'm saying? I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm always looking for people like, you feel what I'm saying? If that's how you really feel. And I said that, and some people that stepped up. You feel what I'm saying? I got some amazing volunteers. Shout out to my whole team. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the Us For Us youth. You know what I'm saying? We got 30 kids working this summer, staying out of trouble off the streets, all independent. My staff not getting paid, but we making sure the kids getting paid. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Opportunities for All, My Eat, City Youth Now, LifeWorks. You feel what I'm saying? Success Centers. I'm making these connections so that the young people can have somewhere to go, so we can have another car. Because they always be like, "Oh, we done ran out." I made mine so it'd be late because we work with the ones who ain't got their application in on time. Let's keep it real. They ain't got their resume. They ain't got their documents already ready. You feel what I'm saying? They gonna wait till all the summer programs to start to ask for a job.
You already know. That's like the 19 scholarships I put out these scholarships months ago. Everybody called me after we give them out. Hey, I need a scholarship.
Where was you at? Where was your essay? Where was your essay? Where was you at? Because I shared that. And that that'd be the thing too. Like people, like if it don't involve you directly, people not worried about it until it, you know what I'm saying, until it involves you. You have to get in. We have to get everybody involved, man. We need more soldiers. Shout out to New Era Detroit. They were just out here. They mobilizing all over the country, man. We in the Bay, and then we be quick to be talking about people who don't respect us and this and that and this. What we giving them to respect, man? our unity ain't like you feel what I'm saying? We need to be unite more. We need it's all kind of stuff, man. We back to the, you know what I'm saying? But the funding gonna come and go, and that's and you know, and forgive me for saying that. That's all part of the deception. That's all part of the trickery, because now everybody's worried about funding. Everybody's mad. We're focused on that. You feel what I'm saying? The youngsters is dying. Feel me? They shoot like the youngsters ain't worth. Listen, 90, and you know, John Henry, I'm speaking true. 9 youngsters from Potrero Hill got caught. They all had guns. 9 youngsters, all strapped, all had guns. And then they went and got 3 more later. They ain't having no money problems. Them guns cost at least $800 a piece. I know. I'm in the streets. I got my ear to. They feel me. They be asking me, and I be taking in all kind of stuff. $800 a piece. Like, you know, $800 was hard for me to get when I was kind of young before I started hustling. But even still, you feel me? And it's multiple. You feel me? They go to jail, get out, get called again. Whatever. You got another gun, man? How much money you got? You know what I'm saying? So you
Very
feel
terrible.
we can't like if the funding not there, we just got to do. Hey, listen. The basketball court is free. Feel me? The park is free. We had hamburgers and hot dogs. You feel what I'm saying? Extreme Jumps gave us a deal on the jumper. You feel what I'm saying? We out there. DJ, like, it don't take much, but we gotta do something, or we're gonna be doing something. We could have saved somebody's life during that time. It was because it was a bunch of teenagers out there. There's a bunch of youngsters out there, a bunch of community folks out there. You feel what I'm saying? They wasn't getting shot at, they wasn't getting shot. They wasn't fighting for those few little hours we had. Do what we can where we can, man. That's all I can say. You feel me? And that's what I've been doing for the past 10, 12 years.
Man, that's real, man. We thank you, Unc, too, man. But I see my guy Rico here. He's another, when it comes to being intentional, trying to make sure young people are impacted, trying to be a voice behind the scenes. We got a lot of work, but Brother Rico is here. Brother Rico, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Happy to be on the show with some amazing folks.
Oh, my brother.
I see my guy, Uncle Damian Raymond, you know what I mean, Mr. Irvin, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is a good group right here. This is a foundation right here.
And I gotta add Rico to that list of individuals, another hero. He's been doing this for years. You feel what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you, we gotta know it's gotta be some trickery going on if we got amazing individuals doing the work, but we keep having problems. Like, you know, Rico is watching somebody else to come up somewhere else, man. Like, you know, the way we can fight it is if we unite. And Rico been on that, been trying to get everybody together, man. We got to figure that out, man.
Hey, Uncle David, you know, you say something powerful that I think somebody Mike is. I think that's Rico Mike. But here's the deal, and I don't know, Sister Tajay, you could add this to this if you want to, because I'm just gonna be honest. I think we need to really redefine what collaboration looks like, and then how do we teach that in our community? Because I'm gonna just tell you, there's a lot of people talking about, oh, I collaborate with everybody I work with, and it's not happening. We still have so many silos in our community. How do we really educate our community leaders, nonprofits, business owners, to really have a conversation, an education of like, what does partnership look like? What does collaboration look like? Because I'm gonna just tell you, it's a lot of it that's not happening. And I don't know what's going on, but I cannot figure it out. And I'm like, are we not educating our people of what that looks like? Not only the importance of it, but what does it look like? Because I think we get caught into this. Everybody's like, oh, I work with everybody. But it doesn't feel like that when we're in the community. And then to Uncle Damian's point, there's events happening all over the city all the time. And that's great. But again, how do we be strategic as a community? How do we figure out a way to be like, hey, y'all, we want everybody to have an opportunity? Because I hear it so many times from the community folks like, man, I want to go to this, but this is closer to me. Or I want to go to this, but this, you get what I'm saying? So how do we as leaders, how do we come together and say, hey, you know, let's be intentional and be planners? Because I really think as a leader, when we don't come together, we're not intentional, and we don't plan, we become the hurt of the community. Because the more dysfunctional and unorganized we are, we impact the community, because they just feeding off our dysfunction, right? And I want to hear from y'all about this. Like, is it something, am I just tripping? But I mean, from y'all perspective, like, do we really need a class, or do we really need to have a real, like, this is what collaboration looks like, this is how we support each other? Do y'all feel the same way? Am I off base?
I think you clear point on this, bro.
But
That's
the people who need it wouldn't come, though, John Henry. That's the thing. The people who need it, they wouldn't show up.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's the crazy point, that the people need it. You know you need it, but you scared of what somebody else gonna say about you needing it. You know what I'm saying? So this not you. Just see, what we have to understand is this not about us. This not about you. This is bigger than us. And if we don't make it bigger than us, then we gonna still be little. We gonna keep being belittled and keep being treated belittled. You understand? This is bigger than us. And we have to all remind ourselves that every single day and every single time you do something. That's why I got people, my family look at me like, you a damn fool. So let me be a damn fool. This is my money. I do what I want with it. You understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. Because if I didn't feel it was bigger than me, I wouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? I know what I done gave to the community. You know what I'm saying? I know how much smut I done put into the community. You know what I'm saying? I know how much good I done gave. You know what I'm saying? Because I got guys come up to me, grown men now, that I done raised men out of our community. I done raised real men out of community. Not to say it's just because the fact of what I showed them is what I showed them on the negative side and the positive side. Because it was like, ooh, real, he woo, but shit, he be going to jail. I sure don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they learned on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So it's really us knowing that this is not about us. This is about them. If we're concerned about their lives, then make it about them and their lives. We live in our life. You know what I'm saying? We here. We don't have to worry about that no more, John. We don't have to worry about that no more, Dame. We don't have to worry about that no more, Rico. You know what I'm saying? I was with this shit. I know. We don't have to be like that no more. So it's bigger. This is bigger than me, man. This is about saving these souls. You get what I'm saying? So we have to all collectively start thinking that, instead, because you got a lot of people that's like, oh man, we in here, they getting this money, they got money. Oh man, they got money flying around you. Man, the hell with that. The hell with that. This is bigger than us. My father was a Black Panther. My mother was a Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? I done been in the movement. I done been wrapping Christmas presents every single Christmas, wanting to take some of them presents home and couldn't touch them. You know what I'm saying? I done been at the library having to pass out books, free books and everything in the community. I done been having to pass out lunch at 8 years old to other people. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's bigger than us. And until we could come together again like that, we're going to continue to be belittled with this little bit of shit they keep throwing around at us. They don't have these problems in LA. Them cats is down there connecting. They don't have these problems in Detroit, like you say, they connecting. They don't have these problems on the East Coast, they connecting. Because it's bigger than them.
Well, John, I think another thing is I don't know where it come from, but we have like this syndrome that everybody want attention. Everybody want praise. So a lot of times they block their blessings of collaboration because they want to be the center of attention. They want somebody to say, oh, you're doing an amazing job. And a lot of it is for the wrong reasons. So a lot of times that turn people off to collaboration. I personally, that turned me completely off. If you're about yourself and I notice, or it appears that you're really not about community. So a lot of times that type of stuff happen. Also, the collaboration when it comes to individuals not standing in lockstep. Like we got to be in lockstep as a community. We not gonna always agree on everything, but it ain't everybody's business that we don't agree on everything. And some stuff just need to stay in-house. Like I don't agree with everything that a lot of folks say, but I ain't gonna put it on blast. I'm not gonna blast them out in front of everybody. I'm gonna talk to them one-on-one and say, hey, look, that wasn't cool. See, collaboration is conversation. Collaboration is being able to have a relationship with someone and being able to communicate. That's real collaboration.
Did we lose him there, Bishop?
I think we lost Rico.
Yeah, they didn't want him to say that. They didn't want him to say that. Come on now.
It always happens that way. They choked me up earlier. Now they kick Rico off. The system ground. You want to say anything before the other brothers go?
Hey, but I got to do this mediation right now, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all thing, man.
All right, thanks. Hey, keep doing it, brother.
So appreciate it. Hope to see some of y'all this Saturday, man. We doing You know what I'm saying? India Basin Park, 11. You feel me?
We out there.
I'll be out there, brother. I'll be out there.
All right, dang. John, did I cut off?
Yeah, you cut off. You cut off.
Where I cut off at?
You was on fire. You was on fire.
Well, I mean, because everybody's interpretation of what collaboration is all different, and we just need to come up with a uniform definition of what collaboration means. Because I see flyers with 1,000 names on it, but when you ask somebody, "Oh, what was your part in this?" "Oh, nothing." You know, that's not true collaboration. It's everybody being able to chip in and be able to use their talent for whatever's going on. And we all have a skill set. We all have a talent. You have those who got funding. Okay, you lend your funding. Those who got the resources, they're gonna lend that. Those who can just come early to set up, like that's true collaboration in our youth. They see that stuff. That's why it's super hard for us to the counterintelligence to prevention is like a lot of stuff that they actually see. Like the stuff they see in our nonprofits, the stuff they hear about our church, all this stuff is negative. It's negative. You know what I mean? So how can we, I mean, you got only so many John Henrys, only so many Ricos, so many Rays. Like literally, if you look at the scale, I don't think the scale is balanced even. I think literally the negativity outweighs the positivity at this point. The social media, everybody want to opt. Like it's just super weird. Why do you want to opt? Like that's like it don't make sense to me. So I think with the collaboration, John, like you're 100% right. There has to be a class on it, but after that class, it has to be like what they call it is called well, forget it. But it has to be like a clear definition at the end of the class. And that clear definition has to describe this is what collaboration is, and this is how we're going to move forward on Black collaboration in San Francisco. And if we don't, we're going to continue to be in these little silos, and everybody will be clicked up, and we'll be continue to do what we're doing to be business as usual. And the cold part is people really pretend that they do good work. The delusion, like that's the part that kills me, is like how delusional people be that they doing good stuff in our community. Like it hurt my whole heart to see that stupid shit. I mean, stuff. I'm sorry, John. I ain't trying to go on the rant, but damn.
Go ahead, Rico got to blow up the spot. Rico blow up the spot.
Hey, Rick, you so right, bro. Because it's like, you know, you come up with these individuals, and you know, you really look at the situation on when, like you said, like I'll go right back to when we grew up. You know what I'm saying? When we came up, bro, we had so many programs. We didn't have no separate Juneteenth festivals. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that on Juneteenth. Juneteenth had a million events. We had Juneteenth on stage, in field mode, at the park, and every program that came up, they came up and said their piece. How many people do you know that has organizations that get up there on these different stages at these events and really speak about unity and the things that need to go on and things of that nature? You know what I'm saying? There's so much entertainment and not enough information to me. So I feel like if we have more information and we can, like Rico said, communicate with one another and connect with one another, then we should be on point with it. But you got to remember, a lot of people still can't do business together. Just like collaborating together. You know, it's just like a business. You know, a lot of people do the same thing. You know, so basically you have to pick your coalition like you run your business. Terrell, the main thing is that we act like thugs, right? We act like the same niggas that we just I ain't gonna say all of us, but a lot of people who come out the streets, they bring that same street mentality into the nonprofit sector or whatever sector that they go into. They bring that same bullshit. That's why everything is a party. That's why everything is fun. That's why there's no accountability. Nobody hold nobody accountable because we still hold on to the street bullshit. We still talking about no telling. It ain't telling if I say Ray, you out of pocket.
Rick, how long we been talking about this, Rick? Stop playing.
I mean, like that stuff be hella. I mean, like I'm just saying, like that stuff be hella out of pocket, and that's why we got all these Juneteenths. That's why there's no education on the stage. When people go to Juneteenth, they think that shit is a barbecue. They don't know what about the Emancipation Proclamation. They don't know the shift from the South to the West. They don't know none of that stuff. That's why they go to Juneteenth and shoot it up. That's why they go to Juneteenth and fight. And then everybody there, so-called uplifting the community, ducking, hiding right now, ain't not never picked up the phone, ain't done nothing, bro. We need terrorists out our community, period. And I stand on that. I don't care what nobody think of me. None of that. I stand on all them little terrorists in our community. We need to do something with them. They need to get locked up or something to happen. And I hate to say that. I hate to say it. I hate to say that shit, but it's we only losing our youth. We losing our youth. Yeah, men got to step up. Women got to step up in our community because there are children. There are children. We just got to step up overall. But we got to throw away this thug mentality that we didn't brought to the nonprofit sector, and we got to rid ourselves of it, because 1,000 people got nonprofits now in the community, and we know damn well they all don't need a nonprofit.
Reek came to blow up the spot today, community. All I know is shots fired around. It's going down. I don't know. Hey, I think it needs to be said because these are some of the problems, and I agree with you. It was hurtful to just see what took place in Oakland. Hey, that's not my city, but I love the Bay Area, and it doesn't matter. So our people, we did have a great time in San Francisco, no incidents, but to see what took place in Oakland, it was hurtful, man. It's our people at the end of the day. It puts a stain on the Juneteenth. It put a stain on the movement, and it's unfortunate. And this is why this conversation is so important. There's so many folks watching. We have to find solutions for these young children out here this summer, not only this summer, but beyond, because as we get to the holidays, something about our community, when we get to the holidays and everybody they can't handle themselves, right? So we already headed to a challenging economic time. Rico, we headed to another election of the year. The conversation about Donald Trump will be coming up again. I don't know. We're going to go
Trump
off the radar with that one, but it's coming around again. I mean, it's coming around again. And I just feel like we had a lot of conversations that's going to be coming up over the next couple of months. But again, there's so many people passionate about impacting our community. There's so many people who want to see change. And I think it starts, like you said, from the leadership in the community, from the nonprofit institution, from our elders. I keep saying elders. We must pass the torch. Too many times our elders are going to the grave with all of the information, all of the network, and they're not moving it, right? And I agree with Rico 100%. The adults are the problem in our community. And I keep saying, as people get mad at me, oh, the kids do this. And I'm saying it's the adults. If you look at the adults and how we congregate and how we function and how we deal with each other, I always say the hardest thing to sell to young people is put your guns down, don't be in the gang, don't get into violence. And then we got our adults in the community acting the same way. We got adults in the community that are representing the same gangs that these kids are in. We got elders in the community, leaders of the community being divisive. The same thing that the kids said. They said, well, why you want me to put a gun down? You got a problem with this person. Y'all can't even work it out. We have to set the examples. I've been saying that for a long time. You see what's going on with the adults of the community. It is terrible. How do we expect young people to resolve conflict? And we have these same conflicts within our community that we as adults can't resolve and bring forward change. So the young people are looking at us saying, look at you all. That's why I always say leadership is about demonstrating what's possible. And we got a long way to go, Rico. I mean, I agree with you. We got a long way to go. But Brother Mark, I know you've been sitting there patiently. There's a lot of information. I know you got something you want to throw in there. But Brother Mark, give us something to this conversation because it's on fire now.
Well, first of all, it is a couple sides to this, because you have to have respect and understanding for the frontline workers. There's a difference between the people who are answering the phone calls at 11 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning, who are making the visits down to the jailhouse or to the mortuary, and their perspective, it doesn't translate to the people who are writing policies and directing funding, because their agenda is motivated by something different. Now, again, growing up where I came up here in Houston, we don't have a lot of programs that was going on where I was at. The only summer program I had was I was either going to go spend a couple weeks with one of my cousins or aunties or uncles out of town, and I was going to get to meet some new family members to build network, and I was probably going to do some work and learn some new skills out in the country, whether we was working on cars or being out in the field. So the summer program, there was always something organized for us as kids, even though it wasn't coming through the system. But that's just part of our culture and our tradition. And I think we have to remember that that's our responsibility first and foremost. Because even though a lot of people profess in their positions to want to do good things for the community, we've all watched politicians and people lie to get elected, and then when it's time to cut the check, oh, all of a sudden something happened, or they want to make you jump through some hoops, or they want to make sure they don't offend somebody else. So your hands are tied when you're waiting for funding to come from them. So we have to find the way to balance both. And again, these are our kids. Like Brother Rico said, ain't nobody coming to save us, and ain't nobody gonna care about our children more than us. So we have to own that process. Whatever we get from the system, we're gonna use it together. But quite honestly, to answer your question, I think our training probably comes from something we can all relate to. Because I grew up watching old mafia movies and gangster movies. There's a certain code. There was a self-policing that the mafia had to make sure we understand who we are and what we about, and we gonna stick to that code and discipline our own, because we don't want the police or the government or nobody else outside their community coming in being able to push us around. So we need to get that kind of unity, that kind of militance. Like I say, again, the Bay Area is strong for its history with the Panthers. We need that back, and our children need to see us as adults move and operate with integrity and respect towards each other first, because just like you said, Bishop, they not going to listen to what we say if we doing something the opposite. We can't be hypocritical and expect our children to follow our lead. So we got to give them a framework. We got to develop the funding to make it sustainable, and we got to put the heart into it. We got to, like I say, you got to really love your people to sacrifice your time, energy, and effort when you're trying to pay your own bills to help provide for the community, whether if it's just as a mentor, a guide, or a teacher. So, yeah, I mean, I salute everybody who's on the front line.
Man, definitely very important stuff. Sister Brown, go ahead. I know you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead, jump in there, Queen.
So I think y'all spoke to a lot of good points. I think just being newer, I guess, into this space, I see that collaboration is important. And another thing is really understanding each other's capacity. Who has the capacity to do what? Who's going to step in here? And how can we collaborate to make sure that everybody is benefiting from what we're doing together? The point of it is to serve the people, to serve the community, to serve the youth. So how are we making sure that that is the center of everything that we do, that we're intentional about doing that and listening to it and seeing the results of it in real time?
I think that's important. And I think, having this conversation today, and I know you all have programming that's coming up, and I know you're going through organizational change. I know Rafiki have a new executive director. I mean, but now, you being here, in this space, listening to the brothers, listening to the community, what are some of the things you think that you could take back to your leadership and say, hey, I heard some things, and like, what's our role? Because I think everybody has a role in what we do. And I think, sometimes what I've also seen inside of these organizations, there's folks who have a voice, there's folks who have influence. And again, it's when do we utilize our influence and our wherewithal and our knowledge to help move organizations forward to be more impactful for the community? And you being here, hearing, you seeing, I know from your time being around now, you kind of see what's going on and you try to move around. But how could you take some of this stuff to influence some of the change and things that you would like to see in the future community?
I think some things I would definitely take away are just listening to the people that are doing the work, being really intentional, being on the front lines, like someone mentioned before, really being in community, like being in West Point, being on the streets with people, and talking to them, exposing them to things, but also understanding, how did that land? How did that work for you? Like, what is your feedback on that? Taking space to take people out of here, out of Bayview, out of, Hunters Point, out of the community that we're in, taking a break. One thing that's important to me personally is just health, wellness, and taking that space to rest and relax. So, and I did grow up camping every single year. They would drag us out into nature, make us camp for like 3-4 days with nothing but a tarp and some granola bars. Like, that's all we had, and we made it work. And I think just experiences like that, it's fun, but it's also at the same time, it's learning and it's educational, and really listening. Like I said, just listening. I think a conversation on how to collaborate in community is important, and focusing on educating in the values that we want to instill and that we want to see amongst everybody in the community, not just pointing the fingers. You do this, you do that, you're not doing enough. But how can we have a value? How can we maintain a standard across the board for every single person that walks these streets, that every single person that says they're opening their hearts, they're opening their doors to serve the community? How are you upholding that standard truly? So.
Man, I think that's so important. I got to piggyback on what Rico was talking about, because I think Rico been blowing up the spot. Let me tell you, Rico blowing up the spot. I think Rico got a good point, though, about validation in our community. It's a big thing with recognition. And, you know, that was one of the things, and I'm glad Rico said that I tried to hone in on doing some of the work that we've done is to try to uplift people. And it's funny, in our community, we got a real weird dynamic, right? You want to acknowledge people, and then they like, oh no, I don't need no acknowledgement, but they really need it, right? So, you know, we try to, you know, Rico, this hidden gem thing is trying to highlight people, right? And I've done it, and I've tried to be intentional, you know, for some of the events that we've done to make sure that we highlight folks in the community, get them awards and uplift them. But it's the weirdest thing, and Rico know, and I know Raymond see it, and Terrell, I know you see it. It's this thing in our community, and I don't know what it is. But it's this thing of like, no, I don't want recognition. No, I don't want, I don't want this and that. And, but we really do need it. So how do we, Rico, how do you think we come up with a way to really give validation and uplift the people that's doing the work so they do feel important? I know they say they don't, but I know they do. But I see two other brothers coming up. My guy Ted is here. I got Larry. He's another guy in the community doing the work. I got my guy Peter God in the building. The guys are here. We're talking about today. I know y'all got here late. We're talking about what we could do to support our young people this summer. Keep them secure, keep them safe, get them opportunities, and some of the things that we need to fix to make sure this stuff happen. And, glad to see you here, Ted. I know it's last minute. And my guy, we're talking about this validation thing right now. And I know y'all see it, but it's real. When we don't give validation to people in our community, and then they come back and we know they need it. What do we do about this, y'all?
You ready for me?
Go ahead, Ted. Go ahead, Ted.
All right. Well, first of all, I just saw the text, and I jumped in. I was just like, "Dang, am I too late?" But next time, hit me earlier, Bishop. But I'm gonna say this: in terms of validation, we're dealing with so many different dynamics now because I got an era check. Our era was hands-on. Our era was different, and now that I'm dealing with 2, 3, 4 generations down, I'm dealing with Percocets. I'm dealing with ecstasy. I'm dealing with syrup. I'm dealing with negligent parents. I'm dealing with mothers who want to be lawyers and friends instead of moms. I'm dealing with so many different obstacles, social media, Instagram, TikTok, that right now I got to navigate all these different digesters from the community, let alone the validation piece is you got a lot of people that's doing the work, but it's only being magnified to the few who's in the spotlight because the real pioneers that do the work, the accolades ain't gonna come because they don't want to give credit to that. They want to give credit to things that's keeping our youth in a spiral. They're doing drugs in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade now in junior high school. And now we asking these kids who are chemically dependent, who are mentally challenged, uneducated, and systematically whooped to somehow navigate through all this trauma and all these setbacks to get out here and be productive when we have nothing in place culturally. Chinatown, the Mission, all these other ethnic people have their cultures established in their respect in their communities. Samoans, they are all under the same page. It's the African-American community. When I see 30 and 40-year-olds selling drugs to kids that's 11, 12, 13, it makes me sick. But I'm the only one out there that seems like that's willing to step to people. So I have a problem being the only one in the crowd. And we trying to get it together where we can all come together because one body is better than one voice. And we got to come together as a culture to say, okay, this is not what we want. And like they say, stand on business. Then what is the business? If we're gonna stand on business, it can't be about tennis shoes or a rap song. It can't be about they not like us. That's not gonna captivate my community. You know what I mean? Okay, what are we like? You know what I'm saying? So when we get together and cut the jealousy out, and we can become humble and get on the same accord with the same mission without cutting each other up, man. Because when I became a manager in Sunnydale, they start writing emails on me. They start trying to tear me down. I didn't know what was going on because I never thought that would happen. But culturally, that's what we do. So I think the question is, what do we want and who are we going to be when we go for what we need? And so on that note, Bishop, you do a lot. We all do a lot, but we spread out. So we spread thin. It's like, and I hate to use this analogy, but I always tell people, if I do this with an open hand, it's called a slap. But if I close my fist and bring my fingers together, it's a punch. It hits harder. You see what I'm saying? So outside of that analogy, what I'm saying is if we stop allowing people to spread us thin, we can come together and it's power in numbers. But we got to figure out what we want to do. And, I jumped on because I'm jumping if you call. And that's what we got to have in our community. When the call go out, we got to jump, man. And we can't be held back. So I'm here and I'm going to get you next time. Send me a little more. Call me in the morning. I went to church, got out of church. I had to come see my lady. And I saw the text. I was watching The Chi. Binge watching, right?
Listen, I'm sorry for y'all. I know a couple of y'all was last bit of Rico and them.
Okay.
I originally had the understanding that Rafiki was going to be here, some of the other staff. And Miss Brown was the only one that showed up. So I didn't want to have her on the show talking about this by herself. So I wanted to get some of the brothers because I know y'all all are doing some amazing work in the community. You. And, Rico's, from what he's done from Juneteenth this
past
couple of weeks, I wanted to uplift that and just really get this for our community because there's so many folks that's like, John, what are we going to do with the young people this summer? And I know all of you have some brilliant ideas. And I'm like, we know funding is being impacted. I know you just jumped on earlier. We talked about what does collaboration look like? Rico has some great points. We got to figure this out. And I know Mark says this all the time. We have to be on code and we have to stop being reactionary. And I think Rico kind of tapped into that. But Black folks, we just got to stop. After the punch being thrown, we have to get intentional, preventive, and we got to get in front of the issues before it's too late.
Bishop, one more thing before I get off. I got a meeting I'm setting up with 5 very powerful men who ain't used to being on the stage or being activists, but they have a heavy voice. And when I get these guys to get at the table, I'm going to reach out to you and we're going to have to pull another couple of brothers for the structure piece. And we got to get in together and train these guys to get ready to go forward for what I feel is they calling to take and captivate these kids that look up to them. So I'm gonna come to you and maybe we can get a couple more brothers that's already in the mix and we can train these dudes up and get them ready for what they're gonna face when they come out and show that they're ready to represent the community. I know I got your back on that. I know you got my back on that. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be a real powerful unity thing and there's gonna be a lot of people trying to break that up. So we got to have men in place to empower these young men that's in their late 20s and early 30s because it's going to be a lot pressure-wise when they step across the street and say, hey, they won't change. You understand the pressure of that when you leave the streets. It's tough. You got to really stand on real mental business. So that's it, man. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm always both sides of the conversation. I'm always District 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, whatever. It don't matter. I'm for my people, man. And I'll catch you later, yo. I'm going to just go on mute.
I love you, Ted. Don't even trip. I got you. I'll be reaching out to you. But I see Peter. I don't know if you want to come on to say something, but Rico, if you wanted to jump back in there and kind of piggyback off that.
Oh, yeah. So I just paused just to see if he was going to jump on. But yeah, John, so like when you really look at both sides of the conversations and the work that you guys do, all the different shows, those are all the tools that we need in order to get our community together. The show around mental health, the shows around Black love and Black community, the conversations about Black men, domestic violence, all those hard conversations. Those are all the tools that you are giving community on how we can change. Yes, a lot of stuff, but with all that stuff, if we are paying attention, these are actually the tools that can get us to the next level, especially as a community. We like, in my opinion, I think it's so hard because it goes back to the adults. Somebody is raising these kids. Like, we cannot put nothing on, like you can't hold someone accountable that was taught something. Like, you have to literally go to the foundation of where something was actually started. and a lot of it is on the parents. A lot of it goes back to the parents, and we got to really like be real that like the parents ain't raising these kids to. I mean, I think that they could do a better job. You know what I mean? I think they could do a better job. You know, yeah, there was a lot of black men who wasn't present in a lot of kids' life back in the days. Now we hear, but then we got a lot of, you know, black women who don't want to be held accountable for raising thugs. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a reality. Also with mental health, everybody that's in the mental health sector at this point, they pretend that mental health is actually working in our community. I mean, it actually works for those who are actually utilizing the process. But how many of people are utilizing the process? Not too many. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times we fake it. Oh, y'all, you doing a good job because you know it's a black person who working there, or it's your personal job. So you say that the company is doing a good job, but in reality, they garbage. A lot of our black mental health institutions are garbage because they're not going in, they're not mobilizing mental health into our communities and flushing it down our community throat in a real way. Like really activating, creating spaces in these housing developments, changing the words around therapists. Now we're using only wellness. We got a wellness coordinator who is a therapist. Like really just changing the verbiage and really thinking about that. I don't see none of that. So it's hard. And I personally know that that there are some kids who are making it out the community. But one, like they used to always say, well, you know, if I change one life or if I help one person, that's enough. That ain't never been enough for me. And my opinion, to me, that's just a low standard. That's a cop out. Just because, you know, I would never take that personal cop out. You know what I mean? I need tens, I need thousands of those who under me saying, you know what, I made it. Thank you, Rico. You know what I mean? You thank you for supporting me. So, you know, there's a lot that's happening, and all those who do the work, I just say be real with yourself. Be real with yourself and have integrity. You know what I mean? And I think like integrity entails I've left so many organizations because they're saying they're doing the work, but in reality, while I'm in there, they not doing nothing. So I don't care about a paycheck, about none of that, because I got integrity and I know the blood is on my hands. If I'm out in community and I'm not there supporting my young people, and one of them go, if one of them die, I gotta go. I can't work with y'all no more because we sitting here, we playing around. You know what I mean? I can't personally play around, and I don't want my name stamped on that. So, John, it's a lot of work, but I think that if people paying attention to both sides of the conversations and the shows that y'all doing, like literally, you're giving them all the gems and the tools that they need in order to create change within our communities. And I think it start one household at a time, right? Because each household is different. You got the domestic violence in one household that, you know, the youngsters are looking at. Then you got the one who parents have super mental health issues and super depressed, and that kid looking up at that. Then you got the kid whose dad's a gangster. So you got all these different things that's happening. I think it's one household at a time, and every topic that you touch, it actually touched those families. We just have to push this platform even harder as a community. And to me, especially black men, like we got to unite at some point. I mean, like the sisters, they united. They run everything in our city. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we just, I mean, and I'm not saying I don't want no battle. I'm just saying a lot of times we fall back and we literally don't like we humble ourselves to a bunch of bullshit. So we need to unite as men and come up with a black men agenda and propose it to our educated sisters who are in them high places and say, look, this is the agenda for black men for 2024, 2025. Because they can't keep creating our agenda. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, John, I mean, me and you had these talks 1,000 times. So,
Hey Rico, John,
Rico Tatum lost the spot today. All the ladies.
I'm gonna just say this: is both of us on the line right here again, as we said the same thing before. That's why we came with the Black Men United. You feel what I'm saying? That's why we created that space. You get what I'm saying? Because we're right back to the same thing. It's about us. It's about changing the narrative on us. Because now I'm tricking the young dude. I slide through my spaceship, my jewelry on, you know. Hey, man, what you do? I'm an entrepreneur. You know, the same way they're looking at the back in the days when we flashing this, flashing that, man. This is what I do. We put them on like this. We put them on like that. So basically, it's just about the influence that you show these individuals, and now they have to be tricked. They have to be tricked. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like okay, you could come in and jump on the block and tell them, hey, man, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But they like, well, who are you? What is your success story? What is going on with you? So basically, it's about changing ourselves and believing in ourselves and having an understanding of who we are as a community, as community leaders, to be able to present to these guys something. Like you said, you got to have something to show these guys because they don't believe what you're saying no more.
Yeah, I mean, Terrell, one of the things you said earlier about the cats in West Point, not getting service, and I know Tajay here, Rico just talked about the mental health services. I agree with Rico. We have to change what mental health look like in the city.
Exactly.
Okay. Bring in mental health service. I think we talked about this 1,000 times, Rico, mobile mental health to the people. Right. If we got to pull a big truck, Department of Public Health, I've been talking to them and say, hey, we got to get a mobile unit up there to get these services, right? And I still believe it has to be incentivized. I don't care. Why? If we bring in the services, we have to incentivize mental health in this community. I'm going to keep preaching it until we treat mental health like COVID and we invest in mental health in a Black community like COVID. We are not going to see the significant change that we have. We're going to have to incentivize. We're going to have to make that effort to get folks to be open, to be vulnerable. And I appreciate all of you because always coming to speak up about mental health and being vulnerable makes the difference. All these brothers who come on, it's the start of the change. But when we have folks who can't come off their blocks, they can't get off the hill, they can't get off their corner, we have to be able to provide something that'll get them in the community. And I think Rico pushed this. We've been pushing mobile mental health for how long? Rico, it's about 4 years.
You got to, bro, that's the biggest complaint I get.
2019.
Yeah, I get that. The biggest complaint I get from these guys, bro, like I said, when I'm out here, they be like, man, yeah. Well, where the program's at? I'm like, man, what you mean the program? I'm right here. He's like, yeah, you here, but it's such and such doing this. Like I say, they're aware of what's going on, but nobody's bringing it to them. So basically, if we're involved in a coalition, then if I'm in the streets, I'm like, well, I don't do mental health, but I know I have access to XYZ who does, Rafiki who does, I can extend my services to where I have pass on services to where I'll pass these. So basically it's about us shuffling these people around and using our organizations for what they were supposed to be used for, and passing these individuals around for what they need to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we saying mobilize it, because when we look at the community, there's all these invisible lines, right? So we got invisible lines that are like puzzles within, like if we go through Bayview, I know all the invisible lines that these children can't even walk to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why we saying you got to mobilize in that community. They on the island. They on the island by themselves.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like we need to like really advocate all the community centers that they built in them new houses. That need to be a wellness center.
Yeah.
Managed by DPH or Rafiki, and actually has a wellness coordinator who's a therapist and actually support community. They got cup of noodle, they got food, they got everything in there to support community. You know what I'm saying? So it's the invisible lines, and we know that those are the invisible lines within our community.
Yeah.
So like that's why we keep saying you gotta pull up. If you ain't pulling up, look, I've been saying this stuff for since 2019. Me and John, we were saying this since then. I'm in therapy 2.5 years. Last funeral I went to back in 2021 or 22, I couldn't even cry at the funeral. No, it's normal. I didn't even feel the emotion to even cry at the funeral. But now that I'm in therapy, I'm crying again. It feels good to cry. You know what I'm saying? So someone who actually is going through the process, I know for sure it's going to help our young people. But I don't have those invisible lines. I can go pull up on my therapist. Exactly. These young people can't lead a community. I wouldn't even want them to leave. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to we really, really got to figure out like all the investment that's in mental health right now. Like if they need more investment, I don't know what it is, but like we got to advocate for mental health services because death is normalized. That's why it's so easy for them young people to shoot in the crowd full of people and them not give a fuck about the lives that are out there. the God-given lives that are out there, like they don't even care about it because that stuff is so normalized. So we got we gotta like have a reset. So if we ain't having that reset, it's gonna continue to happen.
Yeah, no, definitely. We got to get ready to start wrapping up to get out of here. But I see the Holly Rock our style. My guy Peter on there. I wanted to see if he wanted to give a few words about keeping the young people safe this summer. What you think about what we need to do as community, as the economic crunches is here, and some of the challenges that we are faced. What you think, Pete?
Honestly, with the economic crunches as far as, budget shortfalls, funds being cut and things like that, that ain't never really stopped us from ever making something happen. Not having money is always how we always came up on ways of having money. So right now is the best way to me to show them through our leadership and our entrepreneur skills on how to get money the right way. You know what I'm saying? And we could actually teach them now, because it really doesn't take money to teach a person how to get money if you know how. If you don't know how, it's on us to search our ways to find out how to actually get some money so we could actually teach those. But I do believe that, the best way to teach people sometimes is by bringing them on and getting to know them, because we may feel like we are in tune. Like he said, he said, like, in a way of, tricking their mindset into allowing us in their inner circle by dressing like them and, becoming one of them or styling like them, right? And I understand that and totally, understand that. But I believe, as a bringing them on more of in an adoption way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really want to do. Not like in a way of, actually building that relationship to where they have that sense of security with us. You know what I'm saying? And they know that they can turn us, because it's going to be a lot of things transpiring outside of violence. Y'all talking about mental health. We're talking about being hungry. You know what I'm saying? People need to be knowing that they could talk to you in order to tell you that they don't have food in the house. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like we have to actually get out there, bond with them. We need to actually, get out there and just get with them. You know what I'm saying? To get to know them and understand them, because what some people are going through, we may have not ever went through it and can't really tap onto that, Everybody not like me, so I'm not going to understand everybody exactly or even understand their backstory. But just shit, everything we doing about just caring, that's the first part, you know what I'm saying? We the ones that care, so shit, we just got to stick with it and network with each other, of course.
Man, that's real. That's real. Very powerful, very important stuff. We got a lot of work to do. I'm going to continue to do my part. But before we get out of here, I want to give everybody opportunity to give some parting words to the community. We talking about our young people. We talking about mental health. We talking about the things that impact the community. But I want to give everybody opportunity to give some parting words, any shout outs. And again, we're just going to keep working on how we fix some of the issues that impact us when we talk about collaboration, when we talk about programming, when we talk about how do we impact sustainability in our community. It is important. We must do it. There's a lot of passion today. Y'all hear the passion from the brothers, the sisters talking about we won't change. There's something going on in our community. We won't change. Change has a different look for different folks. We need our elected officials. We need our policymakers. We need our leaders, our community organizations. Step up now. The rainy day is here. The bishop is going. We're blowing up the spot before we get out of here today. All right. With that being said, Brother Raymond, I want to give you a couple minutes, a second to give your parting words if you have any parting words for the community today, brother. We missing Raymond? All right. We move Raymond out. All right. Brother Hamilton, before we let you go today, brother, I know you got to get out of here. Give some parting words to the community. I know we got a lot of work to do. But man, give some parting words to the people, brother.
I would just say just continue to educate yourself, continue to have integrity. I challenge me and John to support Brother Terrell with reactivating Black Men United and really pushing it this time. I think that that'd be super dope for us to come up with an agenda for Black men in San Francisco for 2025, 2024. But I think like in closing, like I really like both sides of the conversation drop so many gems every single show. So if you out there, spread the word on Facebook, share it, do anything that you can, because every show had those gems that uplift us, and that's going to be a part of the solution to creating equitable change within our community. So Terrell, you know what I mean? Maybe this is a conversation that we need to have. I mean, I know it is because we ain't here by chance or coincidence. So hopefully we can reactivate.
Man, we definitely, and Rico, we doing some programming changes. We listen to the people. You know, we impacted by the cuts too, and all the things that happen. But Rico, I want to have a conversation. Okay, I'm telling you now, I'm giving you the hands up because we had an explosive conversation a few years back when Donald Trump was in office, and we talked about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. I mean, I think that show was viral. Okay, but I think we need to have another conversation because we're getting close. And again, people are getting food and schooled around here with a lot of this nonsense. So we need to cut through it. I'm going to do my homework and start cutting through some of this policy stuff. And let's have a real conversation because I think our community has been misled long enough. And I think we need to have a real conversation about policy, about entrepreneurship, about business, and how it impacts Black community on a day-to-day basis. So thank you again, Rico. I know it was last minute, but jumping in and supporting today's conversation. Definitely let's have a conversation. Hey, what's up, little brother? Nigga, my little brothers, man. See, that's what it's all about. And thank you again, Rico, for always being a great dad, great community advocate, and acknowledging all you brothers. Happy Father's Day. I know I've seen a lot of y'all, but just want to say it again because there is a lot of phenomenal Black men who take the lead, the charge of making sure that our young brothers and sisters are impacted by their presence. And I want to thank all you kings for continuing to do that, Rico. And we thank you for what you do. And I'll catch up with you, brother. Brother Terrell, he came with it today.
Hey, man.
Give some parting words to the community, King.
Hey, man, I just want to, the parting words I want to give to my community is to always remember that this is bigger than us. We got our heart in it, and we like I said, we do the work. We don't worry about money. Like you said, we don't worry about money. We do what we do because that's what we do. My biggest takeaway from this right now is more unity, more connection. Stop allowing these individuals, these outsiders to come in and show us how we need to work together. Just work together. It's bigger than us. Let's figure out a way to make ourselves bigger so we can attach more to the bigger than us. So I mean, like I said, it's about standing on business, standing on unity, and coming together and really figuring out where everybody fit and make sure that we have the pass on services for the community, whether it's mental health, whether it's, like he said, the mobile laundry, whether it's whatever it is. We have to have something for every level, every step of the way, all the way up to pushing these kids or pushing these adults or pushing our community to the next level. It's right now, everything is scaling. Everything is about scaling right now. The only thing that's not scaling is our communities. You get what I'm saying? So basically, it's about coming together, supporting one another, and figuring out what we need to do to scale.
Hey, man, very important stuff. Thank you, last minute, for jumping on. Please tell the wife, the bishop, I will pull up on one of these Tuesdays, okay? I want to be a part of it. You all are doing some phenomenal work. When you talk about the stuff that you're doing with the programming and bringing some of that love and some of that vulnerability to our community, but through poetry, through arts. Appreciate the work. Keep loving on those brothers up there on that hill. They need it, man. So tell the wife thank you, and I'll make sure I'll be tapping in to support you all as well as we change some of this program. And I'm having a little bit more time that I can move around in the community with my people and do some more behind the scenes stuff. Again, we'll continue to fight and uplift the brothers and sisters of our community. We will continue to unite. Solidarity is needed now more than ever. Thank you again, Brother T. Let's put something together. Let's make sure we connect with Rico, and let's talk about this Black Man United for 2024.
All right.
I see Rico back. All right, my brother, the Holly Rock All-Star. I don't know about y'all community. I'm getting hungry. I see him back there whipping it up. He's meal prepping for the week. I don't know. I say Black man don't cook. Black man don't take care. I see my guy back there putting it together. Hey, brother, I don't even want to mess up your cooking, but just give a few parting words before we go. I know you got out here late, but give the community something, man, as we try to unite the community in solidarity as we end this year out. Come on, Pete, say something to the people.
Man, nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Learn the power of forgiveness and let's work together. What I have been learning lately is the power of forgiveness has freed me so much. You know what I'm saying? I wish to be forgiven with what I had did. And like I say, nobody's perfect. So forgive those that make mistakes because you're going to make some too. So don't hold them against nobody because I'm going to fuck up too. And I'm going to let you know right now when I do, I'm only human. So, you know what I'm saying? So, but I just say, man, power of forgiveness, man. And help your people.
Hey man, thank you for doing the work you do and continue to bring our community together. Each and every one of us play a part in uplifting and uniting our community. And I see you whip it up. We got some chefs around here. Okay, we'll get the young people. We'll get you to teach them how to put some meals together. Hey, congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing. Reach out to me. We'll continue to connect and do the things that we're doing, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Last but not least, the queen that held it down today. She's all about mental health. She's all about the young people. She's all about the work. We're going to make some change. But Rafiki is putting a new stance on our community of what free care and care looks like for our community. She's a fighter. Young Sister Brown, leave something to the people today. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Your mic, something, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. There you go. You've been getting mic checked all day.
They don't want to hear me, but I think just what I took away from today is the power of collaboration, just really understanding each other's what we do, connecting more with each other. Like some of y'all I have not even heard until today the type of work that you do. So I'm extremely grateful to know that there have been longtime advocates in our community making change and making way. And I just wanted to keep collaborating, keep hearing your voices, keep getting feedback, and keep working together to make a change in our own community. So I appreciate y'all having us in this space today. And especially for our young people, I think we set the tone, we set the example. So what we want to see, what we want our future to look like, what we want them to do is where we need to start. It's the work that we need to do first. And before I go, I just want to say,
go ahead, tell your program before you leave. I was going to say, because we didn't get all your programs. Make sure you get those programs out.
We have a youth spotlight on Saturday, June 29th. So all of the young people in the community, we want to celebrate their talents. If there's music, if it's performing, singing, poetry, anything like that. There will be prizes. It is incentivized. We have iPads, Nintendo Switches, $150 Nike gift card, laptops, more. But it's for young people to come out, showcase their talents. Everybody's a winner. And we also want to hear your feedback. What kind of programming will work? What kind of organizations are already here? How can we collaborate more? So I definitely invite everybody to come out to that. And the auditions are this Monday from 5:30 to 7:30. So just come by, audition, and then there will be a spot for the kids. So.
Wow, thank you for that. Please make sure you get us the digital flyer so that we can blast it on all of our social media handles and we can reach out to our young people and get them to come be a part of it. That is phenomenal right now, showcasing talent, getting these young folks activated to just present their brilliance to our community, because it is so much brilliance in our community. Again, thank you and Rafiki Coalition for being here today. Thanks to Andre, all the amazing folks over there at Rafiki Coalition. I know you all are doing a lot to revamp what Rafiki is doing for the community. When we talk about mental health, when you talk about mentorship and uplifting the young men and women of our community, we appreciate y'all, and we here to support. Make sure that y'all send over the events and we'll help get it out so that we can get folks who have access to you guys' facility to come and receive those services. And again, we're here anytime y'all want to come on and promote any of that. Just make sure Dre know how to get a hold of us. Y'all get on our Hidden Gem show and we'll be uplifting. Again, thank you for your voice. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your vulnerability. It's about young people like you and just folks who are the voice of the community. Again, when we talk about leadership, it's about demonstrating what's possible, and you all are doing that. Thank you for being a part of the organization and part of the community, and we hope to connect and collaborate with you in the future so that we can make change and an impact in our community. Thank you again for taking time out this Sunday, and have a blessed one. I'll be reaching out to you, and we'll come over and check out some of the stuff that's going on.
Okay, thank you so much.
Uh-oh, your mic broke up again. I can't hear you.
Dang. Okay. I said, well, we'll have a shuttle for it too, but thank you for in this space. I appreciate the opportunity to learn from you guys and listen, and I look forward to some more.
No problem. Thank you as well. And again, we'll be connecting. Me and Dre got some stuff that we want to do. We appreciate you. All right, Brother Mark, we are here. We're at the end. We made it through 2 hours. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a short show today, We made it through. All the brothers showed up. I saw love, the brothers. Last minute call to action. Brothers, show up. We got to talk about the young people. Hey, we got into a little bit more than the young people, but it was all for the community. Hey, Brother Mark, today's show. I know you've been sitting back processing. It's a lot. I know it's not a lot of programming that's happening out there in Texas. I know they're working on it. I know some folks down there that's been talking to me saying, Bishop, I need you to come down here. We need to put some stuff together. We need to impact Black folks down here in H-Town. But you was a part of it today. What you thinking, brother? What you thinking?
Well, one, I'm reminded of how connected everything is. And the fact that people are recognizing the need for us to be united. And again, there has obviously been a organized agenda against our community for a very long time. So if we're going to get a different outcome than what we've seen for the better, we're going to have to be just as organized and diligent as a community and realizing how much we need each other. And when it comes to the subject of our children, the future of our community is going to be directly affected by the condition of our children today. So it has to be important enough for us on every level to invest into giving our children the best opportunity that they have to grow up and be productive, healthy members of the culture going forward. So we've got work to do. It's good to see that there's a lot of people on the front lines. And again, it's just some very practical things that you got to realize, because yes, a lot of people that's playing the game. They putting on a good front, they got a position, or they know somebody, they get some funding, but they ain't about the work, they ain't about the business. And that is disheartening for the frontline people who are really doing the work. And at the end of the day, I don't care how well-intended you are. If our children don't know how much we care about them, they're not going to listen to anything we say. So I'm encouraged, I'm inspired, but I soberly see that we have work to do for our children going forward.
Man, definitely today's show has been everything. Shots fired. There's been explosions. Everything has been happening. I don't know about y'all community. This was a great conversation. I hope somebody out there was influenced. Somebody was impacted. Maybe it's you sitting behind the screen saying, you know what? I need to do my part. If anything comes out of this conversation, how do we get more people to get activated to do work? Hey, it's been a long day. It's been a long conversation. I know it's hot out there. All my people in the North Bay, all my people in the East Bay, all my people in the South, it's cooking out there. Hey, make sure y'all get some ice cream tonight when it cools down. Make sure you get out and enjoy some of this good weather. I don't know. I've been cooped up in the studio, but I'm going to say this. We got a lot of work to do, even with the cuts, even with the changes. Hey, both sides of the conversation, we'll continue to do our part to impact community. Yeah, we're impacted by all the economic crisis as well. We're not out of the woodwork. We're just like everybody else. But y'all know the bishop. I will uplift and support the people. I will uplift the young people. I will support all of the organizations. That's just what we do here. We'll keep fighting. You fight with us. Stand with us. We'll continue to bring the relevant conversation. We'll continue to bring the education to the community. We'll continue to uplift the Black and brown businesses. I don't know. We'll find a way. But I'm going to just say this. Even in turmoil, even in challenges, even in the surface of the unknown, greatness will always rise. And that's just what it is. Greatness will always rise. Even when we have those days of uncertainty, even when we have those challenging days, even when you get the bad phone call, you have to still have it in you, the desire, the fire burning to uplift greatness and the things that impact the people. And that's what we continue to do. Before I get to the benediction community, there's some programming changing that's going to come up. As for all of you who are regular viewers of both sides of the conversation, if you didn't know, now you know. We've been doing 3 shows a week since 2020, 3 shows a week. We're going to make some programming changes. We have some surveys that's been going out to the community. We listen to the community. There's some changes that need to happen. We're going to be changing our program, and we won't be on every day, every week like we've been. We'll be frequent, we'll be consistent, but we will be having some programming changing. Again, there's some work that I need to do. There's some things this organization has to do to continue to impact community. There's some changes that we're going to have to do to really bring some sustainability to the organization and opportunities. And again, being on the air takes up a lot of time. I know a lot of folks have been reaching out to me. They won't be at all these events. I can't be everywhere, okay? But we're going to make some changes. Brother Mark has been here holding down our team. We're going to continue to do our part, but we'll be letting you all know what the programming is going to look like or how the programming is going to look like. Again, and we need time for our team as well to help do recruitment, get some of these phenomenal hidden gems. We also got to get out and highlight some of these phenomenal businesses. There's a lot of things that we need to do. We are in an election season. There's some things that we need to do as a community to activate and educate our community about their civil duty, to get out and vote and make sure that their voices are heard. So you'll see me moving around. There's a lot of pots that I'll be stirring in, trying to make sure that our community get the right information, because that's what we're here for. We're here to uplift our people. So with that being said, it is time for the benediction. I don't know. I was talking some stuff today. I got choked up. I couldn't breathe. I don't know, the enemy. See, when you start pressing on the enemy, things started happening. I couldn't speak. I was choked up. I don't know. I started losing my breath. I don't know. Something was going on. But I'm back. I'm going to give y'all this benediction because it's important that before we leave, we have to uplift what's taking place. So with that being said, community, another great Sunday conversation. You heard from the brothers. You heard from the sisters. We are talking about our youth, the most precious jewels of our community. There's nothing more important than captivating the minds of the young people. This is our time, even through the economic challenge that we are faced. We must find a way to give community, young people, a safe place. We need to give them an opportunity. We need to give them exposure. We need to give them true leadership. It takes us all to uplift the young people. It takes impressionable adults. It takes great minds. It takes intentionality. It takes patience. These young people are trying to figure out their way. It is our job as elders, leaders of the community, to make sure that our young people get a fair shot at life. They get a fair opportunity. They get a fair chance to be great. We must fix the trauma in our community. We must fix the hurt in our community. There is so much pain. There is so much anger. We must address it. We must deal with it if we want to see the impact that is needed. Yes, the children are our future. It starts with how we mobilize, how we organize. We must bring the services to the people. This case, the young people. They need summer programs. They need education. They need arts. They need an opportunity to explore. It is all of our jobs, mothers, fathers, guardians, leaders of the community, to make sure every young person gets an opportunity to experience joy, to experience something different, a unique opportunity. It is our job. We must do it. Even in these rainy days, on a hot day, we must provide the resources, the services, so that our young people can thrive at the highest capacity. I don't know about you, but young people who are smiling, young people who feel sustainable, young people who feel a part of the community does phenomenal things. All I know is we just had 19 phenomenal minds that we presented for our scholarship that are going to change the dynamics. They're going to change the narrative. They're going to uplift the greatness that young people could do. It's only possible by the folks out there who believe in young people, all of the sponsors, all of the investors in our young people, whatever that pathway is. Make sure you provide an opportunity. Don't just sit there and say, I must protect my assets for the rainy day. Today, we are living in a rainy day. We are uplifting greatness. We are uplifting the voice of the people. Thank you to the amazing folks at Rafiki Coalition. Thank you to all the brothers in the community that continue to grind, who continue to uplift peace, who continue to pray for opportunity for our young people. This violence in our community is out of control. Whatever young people think it's okay to shoot up a parade that represents us on Juneteenth, we got work to do. It is not over. Tonight is going to be another night. Sunday nights have been terrible here in the Bay Area. Just last night, 4 people shot. The Bay Bridge shut down. Sideshows. This weekend, we had 30 families, 30 youth who went to Sonoma Raceway to experience legal drag racing, to experience a legal drifting sideshow. We must find an opportunity for our young people to do these stunts, to have this excitement, to have this thrill, this rush of doing donuts and doing these sideshows in a safe environment so that our communities is not impacted. It is not okay to shut down the Bay Bridge when emergency services, when transportation of goods need to get in and out of our city. This is not okay. This lawlessness that is happening in our community, we have to change it. We must inspire our young people, give them something to enrich their lives, something that they can feel impacted and uplifted with. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This Tuesday, we'll have another Hidden Gem segment. This Thursday, we're going to have a financial guru come on and talk about finance. We must keep uplifting our finance. We must set a budget. We must figure out how to retire right. We must figure out how to save. We must figure out how to come together. We are in some challenging times, even in the election year, even with all of this. We can do it, community. Let's continue to build the Black ecosystem. Let's support the Black businesses. Let's uplift the single mothers, the single entrepreneurs. Let's continue to spend our dollars and circulate them in our community so that we can uplift the people, because we know when we thrive, we get to hire people who look like us and pass these opportunities on to the next generation. If you are that entrepreneur, or you are that organizational leader, make sure you open up an opportunity for young people to come learn, to be a part of the work you're doing so that we can impact the next generation of young people. To all of the amazing HBCU graduates and students that are here right now, continue to be great. Uplift what's going on. It is great to see young Black educated scholars in our city learning and growing. With that being said, the youth are the future. Elders, pass the torch to the youth. Elders, it is our time to relinquish the power to the young people. Support the young people. Uplift them. Give them the power and the grace that they need to be great. We'll continue to do our part here at Both Sides of the Conversation. I am the Bishop. We are out now. Good night, good people.